We should do that for.
All right,
My
we're good to
stupid
go.
workbook.
Hey, there she is.
Yep,
That's
I'm
what's up.
here.
Also, Amazon. I don't know if
Hey,
you
Red.
noticed, but I don't know if it's like an OBS thing, but like the sound quality on your OBS is dog shit. Like I don't know if like it's a sound driver thing, but like, it was. I don't know how to fix that.
It might just be something on my end. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, there's no time to stress about it now, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there's an easy fix for that, but like it sounds like it's coming out of a tin can when you compare it to like this recording from Act 2.
Don't say that about Tin Petty.
Yeah.
Who's talking about my son? I didn't think so.
Yeah, no, I'll fix that later.
Just give me a minute to prepare my sorry ass.
Oh shit. Oh no, I'm not gonna make it. What?
It's just a weird noise. Alright. Put that there, and that there. And then...
Roll to see who dies.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna officially kick off this bitch.
Roll for headshot.
Stop.
Roll for who's gonna be. Boop. It's a 5. Kyo, did you recap last week?
I think
think I
capped
did.
like the
Yeah.
past like 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
The dice really likes him.
Yeah.
Jesus. Alright, I will
The dice says
re-roll-
Senpai noticed me.
I will re-roll once. Give you a break. Yeah. 1. Yo, it's cracking.
Okay. So, is all the recording stuff set up? We're all good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So, the last of what happened was we were walking away from the little like lair where we fought the king, and we had brought the fundamentum to the angel who's helping us. I forget the streptographer name, but her.
Fulcrum.
Yeah, Fulcrum, and then let her know what was up with it and what we kind of had to do to get it, as well as ask. I think we asked her a bunch of questions and stuff, and then we were trying to asking her how to fix the stratigrapher core, and she basically said, yeah, we'll have to launch you at this forge, and we'll send you over to Ragni, and he can like mind cannon us into avatar forms. And we talked about like the logistics and the like emotional state of some of the people having to do that.
Yeah.
And then mind cannon to the forge, explored or like walked around the outside for a bit and noticed that either that like time was frozen mid explosion, like fireball spell explosion, but like massive on this I don't remember if it was on a volcano or basically terraformed it into a volcano.
Something like that. It's a mix.
Yeah, a little bit of both. We either noticed a statue of a fire giant or a fire giant that had been just turned to stone. I think we were all on the page that it got turned to stone, and we tried to figure out how to free him. Second guessed it because then he probably would attack us. We ventured into the actual workshop forge, explored around, found a bunch of like blockades leading to certain areas. I think we only found 2. Noticed like some weird skeleton stuff and spirits hanging around some of the grave stones that were like lining the walls. Eventually made it to the center forge area. Tried to set up the core to be fixed. Started all that and started combat with a bunch of like I think they were just regular human skeletons,
Mm.
Yes.
and like one of the special classes of fire giants with the 2 shields, and 2 of us got our shit kicked in.
Mm.
One of us took forever to beat one of the skeletons, and then just like destroyed it with crits at the end.
Mm-hmm.
We defeated the giant, and we quote unquote fixed the core, or did something to it, because after we had eliminated that, we had been zapped back to our original bodies. I believe Dagny summoned the core, and it
Yeah.
was still
It was
it
still.
did it made the broken sound
but
and like burned her hands.
it did.
And I think we had a conversation about something. I don't really remember the last end of the like tail bit of the session, but I think that's basically where we left off.
Mm.
Yeah. And for those that had survived the fight back in the Mantle Forge and witnessed what was being done to the cartographer core, it was as if this magical forge was pulling thermal and auric energy together to superheat the object in more ways than one. It became white hot, and as Dagny foolishly attempted to summon it, still in the chamber of the pylon, it is very much still channeling this intense heat. And you think that whatever the startographer had intended to be done to the core has now been done. Yet another task has been completed in the process of repairing this thing. And for those concerned, the chamber of the pylon is giving off this auric smoke. It looks like the actuations that allowed you to project are on something of a brief cooldown. It seems like these pylons are built to be self-sustaining, but given this is plugged into the sanctum, you think it's been enhanced by whatever Ragni did to it. So, in theory, if you wanted to project again, perhaps it could be arranged. But before going any further, those chambers are open and you are all able to step out if you haven't already. And in the process of regaining your bearings and once again regaining your sea legs, now actually in control of your authentic flesh and blood, or otherwise, you can hear there is something of a commotion that's coming from the central chamber. It's the voice of Ragni and someone else, and it looks like there's something of a debate that's taking effect over there.
Before moving on, I'm making sure the cartographer core is snapped away, because if I remember correctly, I kind of threw it away from my hand so that it wasn't burning them anymore.
Yeah, within the very brief contact, it singed your hand, and it is still searing with pain. This object that you tried to summon is more intensely hot than anything you felt before. It may not be a good idea to summon again until it's within reasonable temperatures again.
It's a bad idea. Ouch.
I imagine since Kava was the first to get like pasted, he was already out, and as soon as she threw it out, it like whizzed by his head and flashed sunburned half of his face.
Oh yeah, there was an instant heat wave that blasted everyone as well, which was very uncomfortable, and the heat of the air is still difficult to breathe, although it's rapidly cooling down.
I'm gonna be peeling for days. Well, I mean, at least we did what we came for, I guess.
Oh, hopefully.
So, how did it go?
We managed
Well.
to kill that thing.
Right on.
And some like light explosion of energy had coalesced around the core, and I think exploded somehow, or like did a big bang of "I'm done," and then we got yanked back.
Yeah.
So I think we did what we needed to do.
Sounds like you guys like blasted the mountain.
It's possible, but you hear that?
Hear what?
Rappy's talking with someone. It seems like.
He's sort of sticks his finger in his ear, clears him out. Yeah, I guess. What, you guys want to be nosy?
I mean,
He says
Of
in a
course.
whisper.
Nadi.
Okay.
Nadira.
What?
I got boo boo.
You duck fucked up. Why you
Uh,
duck fuck up?
I don't know.
Thank you.
Uh,
I don't know. Can you hold? I hold out my hand, Stuart. It's like, can you please?
Oh
Oh
my god, they were my
God! Luckily, I
hamburger.
didn't blow through my goddamn spell slots.
Mm.
Where's my shit? Where are my spells? I found them. We're good.
You know, it'd be really funny if you cure wounds by doing a high five.
Ah, you bitch! You asshole!
oh, it's like slapping the back of somebody who's got a sunburn.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just toss a quick cure wounds at it. It's fine.
Thank you.
Does Praken like recognize the other voice that's not Ragni, or is this completely new?
Listening in through the echo, it takes you a second to recall, but this is a familiar voice. You recognize this as the voice of the Auroran Farseer.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
I take it we made a bunch of noise when we returned, did we not?
The pods released and there was a bunch of actuation on the machine. However, the Sanctum of Arcana is a busy and often loud place. It doesn't appear that you've been noticed as of yet.
Okay. Let's see, do I have any invisibility spells? I do. Does anybody want to go and see who that is with a little bit of invisibility? See, get a little closer to the conversation.
Sure.
Would, but the clap of my ass would alert them far before I arrived. So,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'll go.
sorry.
You have been eating a lot
I
of
got
reward,
it.
Praken will open up his bag and essentially take out a cloak, shake it a whole bunch, and it turns invisible and throws it over Dagny.
You're Harry Potter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
At least turn that into a straight roll now.
So you have about 1 minute before it goes poof and you're seen again.
Okay.
It's not very long.
I'll get moving, getting close enough to be able to hear but not be noticed.
All right. Trying to keep a low profile. Roll stealth.
Oh God.
And this will be a straight roll since invisibility.
Oh.
Oh Jesus.
The base roll's a 4.
Yeah.
That's a number, man. That is
let's
a
see.
number.
It's a number.
I'll give her one of my +4s for Flash of Genius. So 14, if it helps.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
You keep a low profile, having to stave off the exhaustion from your projection into your avatar. And thanks to some quick thinking from Praken, you are difficult to spot for all but the faintest of shimmers. Moving into the chamber, you can see that off at the center, floating above the central units, floating in the air, is Ragni. His gaze is fixated towards the summoning circle on the far side that leads to the Sanctum of Farsight, just before it, which is the Auroran's Farseer.
Oh God.
When you had left the Sanctum and were conversing with Fulcrum, you do recall that her movements were labored and a bit sluggish. Farseer seems to have mimicking fatigue, but is once again seemingly in control of the body. And you can see that Ragni's body language at a glance is somewhat cautious, and you can hear a few sharp words of him being thrown at the Farseer.
See, that's strange. I understand that a lot of what you do is cross-sectioned with multiple spanning potential timelines, and the ramifications for any one action need to be considered as multiple things can branch from any one minute detail. Still, you have a great deal of requests that have gone ignored. Do you really think I'm gonna pick up on your slack, even if I am your subordinate? That's a bit much.
You can see that the Farseer gives a bit of a shake of the head.
Listen to me, Archmage Urval. There are things at play which I cannot articulate in a way that will make sense to you in the longer scheme of things. I am going to be continuing to request odd things of you. It is in your best interest to humor me on them. To try to explain this would be lost on you. These are trying times for everyone.
It seems as though there's something of a confrontation between the two. Based on those cues that you're picking up from conversation, it doesn't seem like these are terribly common occurrences. Is there anything you'd like to do at the moment?
You said he was cautious before.
Yes.
Does it seem like his suspicion is growing as she explains herself?
I suppose you can roll insight if you want to get specifics on that.
14.
From what you can remember with how conversing with the Farseer and with Fulcrum has proceeded, should the Auroran Dawn become aware that the Farseer is actually Fulcrum, it could be disastrous in terms of ramifications for repairing your core. They would instantly lose trust and would likely witch hunt Fulcrum or Farseer at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and fall back. Think the invisibility would pop by then and kind of let everyone else know. Hey, Fulcrum is here as the Farseer, and Ragni is starting to be suspicious because apparently she's been slacking on some of her duties. I think we need to kind of bail her out of here a bit.
That depends if it actually is Fulcrum
It is
or the
Fulcrum.
Farseer.
It is Fulcrum.
Control.
It is. She's still maintaining control of the body. She's fatigued, but it's still her. So.
Either way, with her little secret, we hold all the cards. So, plus, Fulcrum is kind of a boon for us.
Yeah, but.
Rather not have the Auroran Dawn kicking down this door.
And then let's go ahead and train Bill her out while Ragni is interrogating her. We should go.
Bit.
Okay. Go ahead and head towards where Ragni and the Farseer are.
Okay. Is everyone else following?
I assume
Yep.
so.
Yeah, I
If that's
thought
like
that
the
would.
only way to an exit, then probably.
Okay. Yeah, it is. It's
Okay.
yeah, the room you're in, and it goes straight to the center. Continuing on, you do hear a few more echoed words coming from Ragni.
Now, understand I have a wealth of patience. You know that, but it's not my patience that you need to concern yourself with. It's the perceptions of those around us. Understand the pressure we've been on for the past year of time, and how careful we have to be not to repeat the mistakes of those that came before us, before the fall. We don't want to be labeled responsible for yet another disaster in history. Such was the failure of the Startographers. What a joke. Oh, look who it is.
Hi, hello.
That place was hot as fuck. For real.
It was a
So-
strange experience.
Yeah, I can see we're interrupting something. What's going on?
Nothing that you need to concern yourselves with. We're simply articulating our concerns for how the future is going to unfold and the eyes that are always watching us.
Always watching Wazowski.
Have you any thoughts on the matter?
On us trying to save the world or some other matter?
Well, I'm sure that you've done many things within the past recent history. I believe that your perspective is valuable. If the world's history is passing through a bottleneck, I would want to know your thoughts on worldly events and what they may mean for all of you.
I mean,
It's obvious that there's much more powerful people pulling strings.
always.
How do you mean?
Oh,
Everyone has their own agenda.
you know where we're
Yeah.
from.
In my opinion, I really don't think we're paying enough attention to to rooting out Angel subterfuge.
Exactly.
The only thing is, I'm not really sure how we do that, since we're not publicly known. We're really
Hearing
the only ones who
voices
can...
would probably definitely help with that.
I mean, hearing voices is one factor, but it's also the fact that when they're in their mortal form, they're virtually undetectable.
Now, granted, you all have experience with angels who are unveiling themselves from more recognizable human forms. Now, let's assume that there is someone amongst us that is not as they seem. Could you inform us on what the telltale signs would be?
I don't know, it's...
Well, originally we sort of
I would like to
sort of
incite
tested
this.
using the cartographer core.
Wait,
I feel like he's trying to get something out of us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, he 100% is.
26.
there we go.
Erithal, you take this context of how he's prying at you right now and seemingly trying to entice certain answers. Now, he's always had something of an eye to you all, even when you first met. It seems as though he's had a suspicious nature around the party from the start, but it seems like at this point his suspicions are beginning to tighten. Simply put, taking his position into consideration, he's not really sure if he can fully put faith in all of you. And given that you've had a close proximity with the Farseer, or unbeknownst to him, to Fulcrum, he's not sure if he can extend the same trust to them either. You think that he's trying to gauge who he can trust for the foreseeable future, and if you have any sort of hell that leans you one way or another, if you're not portraying yourself as trustable, this may lay the foundation moving forward. as for like what he would consider trustable or not, you don't really know what that means.
I understand your concern with that. At least in the angel form. I'm not sure if it applies to her human form. Never sensed it when the angel of death was human. But whenever she's around, at least I get this overwhelming sense of dread.
Well, when she revealed herself to us, we got that. I think it was the same with Yidrifok too, wasn't it? With her, it was just a lot stronger because of what she
What
is.
she was.
Yeah. There's
I
always
see.
this innate
So-
sense of fear when they're nearby.
Well, listen, if you have absolutely no confidence in our ability to detect angels, just a single touch from our stored cartographer core will literally violently react.
I wouldn't
Now-
touch it right now.
I would
Yeah.
argue that any touch from this cord to any creature in its current condition may have that sort of effect. So it seems that if there's any magical lie detector that may be able to decipher if someone is an angel, it currently is not able to be used. Now, isn't that convenient timing?
Well, coming
Convenient for
to
who?
coming to your world wasn't an easy feat, so it took the brunt of what protected us to come here.
It was destroyed so that we could live.
I see.
And we're making efforts to repair that.
Tell me, once you get this little toy of yours fixed, what next?
We
We have to parlay with the king and eventually subdue the angel of death for long enough to actually form some sort of diplomatic solution. I mean, Jesus Christ, they're shouting for our heads out there.
That they are. The public needs a boogeyman to pin all of this on. And Highshire makes quite the fitting candidate for that.
because they've never had any interaction with Highshire besides war. And what
Well,
you've
not
told
only that,
them.
They seem to think that we're in league with the angels. We need to be able to dispel this.
Now, see, the conversation we are having here to identify who is an angel worshiper, and who is a human just trying to do what's best for human sake is the kind of conversation you're likely going to be having with the rest of the Auroran Dawn. And
I see what you're getting at. We need to be prepared for a conversation like that.
I see that there is more to you than meets the eye, Arethal. Very perceptive.
Very perceptive. Looks at my 14 perception.
I see what you did there.
Oh, that reminds me. Arethal's stupidly high passive perception. You spot something.
Oh,
Crawling along the wall on the far side of the sanctum.
Silky! What you doing,
Silky.
buddy?
I love him. Don't you hurt my child.
It seems like Silky has took to himself to go on something of a little scout around to explore the sanctum on his own accord, given that he couldn't come with you when you entered the pod. He is, however, futzing around with the far wall plate that you were eyeing last night. His tiny little staff is applied to it.
Uh-oh.
What he doing now?
I assume we're the focal point of Ragni's attention right now.
Wholesale.
Oh god, I can't even, like... Okay. Earth will walk over to Nadira, just continuing the conversation. Glad that I'm at least surprising people down here too. But you do have a point about conversations with the Aurorans regarding if we can be trusted. We've been painted as the boogeymen, the shadows of essentially causing evilness in your world. Well, our world. And I'm going to just kind of emphasize that shadows near Nadira's ear.
Am I picking up what he's putting down?
Are you?
Am I?
Insight check.
Yeah, why don't you insight him with advantage? Because you know Erythal pretty well by now.
Great.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh God.
fuck.
Or-
You said
That's-
advantage,
I
right?
Yeah.
should say advantage.
Okay, great.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank fuck.
Oh, much better.
You see the glint of worry in his eye, and you follow his glare to the wall, and you spot what he spots.
Oh God. Oh. Does Silky have, oh God, my suicidal little spider. Does he seem to know what he's doing, or is he just seem trying to be helpful?
You know for a fact that he's always trying to be helpful, and you know that he was curious
he's
about
just-
that.
He's
So
just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh God. And there's nothing I can do that's fucking subtle. I don't think I can do anything that's subtle. We're gonna check him.
I
and
can
see-
do something subtle.
That's,
There you
I know
go.
that, yeah, Cobweb, I'm like, you could telepathically communicate with that little fucker.
You got.
I'm just gonna kind of meander. I'm gonna kind of casually walk over to my little green gobbo. And same thing, I'm just gonna try to more try to physically, like, gesture with my hand. I'm gonna be Italian. I'm gonna talk with my hands, but, like, also subtly pointing where this child is.
All right.
Okay. So, like, we have Erythal kind of coming up doing, like, nudging, emphasizing Nadira. Now Nadira's doing the same thing.
Nobody
to
judges the
Cobweb.
fucking Italians for it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Cobweb. Why don't you make an insight check with advantage, and I'm gonna roll one too.
Let me see. For fuck's sake. I
There we
rolled
go.
2 instead. Fuck.
Cool.
I mean, it's the same thing. You got advantage, so just take the 15.
Ragni seems to have a lot churning around in his skull, and he does kind of see that you're kind of squirming around awkwardly too, and you can see that he's a bit in an impasse for how to take things at the moment, but he does continue. As for you, Cobweb, you're not really sure what the hell they're doing.
Oh, what?
Until your eyes kind of line with the rough ray that is being traced, and you spot what they're trying to point you to.
Telepathically asked Nadira, what the fuck do you want me to know about it?
Knock him off the goddamn ledge. I can't do anything that's subtle.
Okay. Here. About how far away is he?
It's a large sanctum, so we're talking about 100 feet.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
How far does your telepathy thing go?
Creatures within sight. Let me see here. Telepathic speech. It's within 30 feet. Fuck. It's
God.
subtle, but it's
Same.
not
We're
enough.
too far away. Okay.
You're too fucking far away.
Okay.
There's literally nothing I can do that is subtle.
BMed, just so it doesn't seem like we're being quiet for too long, just at that, you're the one that's more integrated with Auroran society. What would be your suggestion to go about winning them over?
Telling the truth, of course.
Well, yes, naturally, but
That's also
I think
based
more
on
so
their.
than just telling the truth, but telling it in a way that is plain to see that it is truth. They need something to believe in. Hope, if you want to use such a flowery word. Why not start by doing whatever you did with the Farseer? She certainly seems to trust you.
I mean,
Well,
it's
see about that.
That was such a long conversation, though.
yeah. I'll look at the Farseer. Well, I mean, it's a different set of circumstances.
She has more access to information compared to the average citizen. At least it would seem so from what we've seen.
Most of what they know about Highshire is pure propaganda.
Maybe we could flip the narrative a bit.
I mean, would it be possible to show them our point of view when it comes to Highshire?
I mean, yes. And then our wounds. If
I mean,
I've seen a few little arcane displays all throughout the city. Who's to say that we couldn't hijack the? We could reprogram the people, maybe.
you mean
I know I'm sounding like an evil billionaire, but I swear we're the good guys. I swear.
you mean use the projections that to actually talk directly to the people?
Yeah, I was thinking more memories or something.
I mean,
Ragni, you're a very powerful mage. You're an archmage, literally. You would know the
yes.
most about magics relating to that. Would it be possible to show them memories of what we saw of Highshire?
Bear in mind, even if we had a way to create a very large projection, that is only one half of the equation. There's a whole other kingdom on the other side of the hemisphere.
yeah.
We need
Also,
to
that
do
is not the decision I can just openly make for myself.
Whoa, I mean, not above
merely running
board,
ideas by you.
but you
Helps.
strike me as the kind of guy who doesn't mind a little bit of subterfuge.
I mean,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
not. I mean, it's not lost on him. He's been on the surface before.
Of course.
Your whole deal with Osora, at least.
Ah, that old place. Listen, they were wholesale indoctrinated by monsters that simply wanted to use them. That is not a conversation that is remotely relevant to the worldly affairs taking place now. The fate of Osora was cut dry and deserved.
Damn, when you say that, the tumor in my head goes crazy. That's weird.
Perhaps
He
that
sort of
could be
slaps his
expected.
forehead.
There was also one other creature we encountered. I did forget about him. You drew out plans for a warforge that used a keystone.
Yes.
Destined?
Yes. 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 Trying to put a harness around that, which is largely infernal. That was a costly investment.
But I mean, it kind of paid off.
It did.
Oh, we did. And yes, it paid off remarkably well. Although we had to change a few things, for example, not house a pit fiend within a keystone within a warforge, but it was the basis for creating artificial life for as long as that plan lasted.
Is that begs the question, the current warforges that you have now, are they also powered by keystones?
Oh, hell no. No. It would be a waste, really. We have ways of providing a more simple way of powering them. Understand, to get a keystone properly conditioned, you are going to need a properly willing monster. There's, well, if you want to go into the uninhabitable zones and try to fish out worthy monsters to power your keystones, by all means give it a try. But it's not worth giving it much thought, considering that they are a bit more aware than we would like them to be. It turns out that the Warforged have a lot in common with Helios, to the point where they revere it as something godlike.
Machine.
Yes, revering it so much so that they choose to ignore our directives in favor of whatever they believe Helios is telling them. That's not great for soldiers.
From what we've gathered, it's some sort of gigantic machine intelligence, a hive mind. They sort of refer to themselves as a collective rather than individuals.
Exactly, the one collective. If angels are what they are, then how does the mind of a Warforged compare to the will of the angels?
They're territorial.
Oh. I'm digressing quite a bit, aren't we? We're terribly off track. Farsia, you've been rather silent through all of this. What do you make of all of this?
Frankly, exerting our will one way or another is something I do not have a consensus on. Perhaps this is something that should be further entertained in the Sanctum of Farsight. Ragni, you have too much to worry about to be bothered with my affairs. Please continue your work here.
You see that Ragni is about to protest, but is interrupted by a noise.
Damn, our distraction was so good it distracted the party.
You can see the far area of the sanctum parts and a metal gate opens wide. You can see Silky is sent up with it, clinging to the part that he somehow managed to actuate as he successfully cast Knock. And the door opens wide. It reveals a compartment that is filled to the gills with a variety of tubes, wires, pipes, and there is a large center chamber. And you can see that there's this black essence that had been extracted from the still open portal created by Gilthun's tome. And you can see that it is being concentrated here and manifested into a object.
What the fuck?
What fresh hells is this?
Oh shit!
What the
Don't bullshit
fuck?
us. We've been there.
That looks like an offering altar of some sort.
Are you fucking joking?
I could be, but I didn't give the punchline yet. Now, how did that happen?
I think you know, smartass.
I know that you think you know what's right for this world, and I commend your audacity. However, this power that you've rejected from this deity that you've ignored, it's useful. Of course, I'm not going to dip my skull into its influence, but see what it can manifest when you use this dark power intelligently.
It doesn't matter how intelligent you are, it will attempt to take over your mind and manifest
I
its own will.
survived for many, many years. Past a genocide, mind you, due to my intelligence. Trust me, sweetheart, it's not going to fail me now.
I would not say that. It happened to me.
Okay,
And I also lived through a genocide.
How about we just go and let this BDSM gremlin chain a great old one in his basement? Why not? Why the fuck not?
Not like we're actually connected to it anymore.
Also, you want to talk about trust? What? Jesus, dude! He sort of gestures with both hands.
It's not a matter of trust, understand. This is a matter of discovery and exploring all avenues. You may have divorced yourselves from Gilthum, however, I would like to further investigate it. Is that really so hard to understand?
We separated ourselves for good reason. It was killing other people and taking over our friend.
It is
And by
quite
all means,
literally
take
a
your leave.
plain elemental. What? Why? Why can't it come from somewhere else? My God, there are other avenues.
Are there? Have you visited the Northwest regions? Do you understand why the Auroran Dawn is trying to extract every last drop of power from your miserable kingdom in the first place?
Well, maybe if you had actually talked to us about it, we would have helped. Instead, you attacked us.
We had every reason to do as we did. But we're not going to get into a pissing match about that, because what's done is done. We need all the power we can get our hands on, and I'd be damned if I'm going to let this slip by into the abyss. If you don't understand nor approve, then by all means, go with your little far-seeing friend and skip on down back to the Sanctum of Farsight and do whatever it is that you feel is right for the future of this world. And I will do what I believe is right for this world, much the same.
Well, okay then. Given that you are a man who claims to be intelligent, I feel the need to warn you that at some point there is a crossroads that we cross that decides whether or not what is it called? The political landscape completely destabilizes, and we are unable to get off of this fucking rock. Whatever you are doing in here, sir, please keep it quiet.
Make sure he stays to his nickname of the Chained One.
Cobweb, roll persuasion.
There we go. +2 in a dream. Oh.
I can recognize the authenticity of your first-hand experience with this deity. However, we can't make any rash conclusions. That means I'm not going to go spilling around this dark energy to just anywhere just yet, but an open mind can lead to many places, as long as that mind is guarded. Knowing the difference will save your life one day.
Pablo sort of nods. Alright. I don't like it, but whatever.
As for Nadira, the longer you stare at this thing, the more chilled you feel, and there's just this uncomfortable crawl on the back of your neck, and you become deeply uncomfortable staring at this effigy.
I'm just gonna look away from it, keeping my eyes sort of on the ground, and indirectly address Ragni because fuck that. Whatever. It's not worth it. As somebody who has directly been dealing with him and everything that he took from me, it's not worth it.
I'll grab Nadira's hand.
Oh. Yeah.
You can see Ragni has gone a bit quiet for a moment, and looking down at the ground, Nadira, there is a small creature that intercepts your peripheral as it comes quickly skittering over to you.
Oh no.
I think I did a bad thing.
I'm just gonna kind of like give him a little look and then kind of brush a finger towards the back of my leg for him to crawl, like stay behind, like crawl up but stay behind me.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
after a few moments, he speaks up.
Well, I think this well has just about dried up. In either case, I will see you off to whatever you intend to do next. But if you're not intent on entertaining an open mind like myself, maybe it's best you take your pursuits elsewhere for a time.
Very well. And kind of squeezing Nadira's hand and kind of pulling her along towards the teleportation circle to the Sanctum of Farsight.
The Farseer is the first person out and enters the circle. I presume everyone else is intending to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the way out, Cobble's like, okay, bye. Please don't blow anything up. He steps on.
As we walk
Alright.
past Ragni again, I'm just gonna whisper loud enough for him to hear, but in a very resigned tone of, it's not worth it. And then walk
His
with
expression
Ragni.
softens a little, but he chooses to remain silent to that, as everyone else heads over to the teleportation circle in the footsteps of the Farseer, and in a few moments, off you go.
The minute we get to the other side and I know that we're away from Ragni, she will say, "Must we continue to work with that hubristic prick?"
It's proven pretty useful.
Oh yeah, and when Gilthune finally takes shape in his fucking form, then what?
Then we fuck him up again.
Yeah, we put him back in his hole. And preferably with the lizard.
The same mentality that he has, thinking that he can pry into the Chained One's mind. I feel like it's the same thing he tried to do with the aboleths of Osora. They're two totally different things.
But listen. Okay? I think that the fact that he's doing it, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but he isn't wrong about us needing every avenue.
But I thought the same thing. That's why I let him in my head in the first place.
You're right. Okay, raise your hand if you fucking hate the lizard.
Definitely raise it high. I raise both hands. Both hands.
Please raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by Regina George.
So.
You see Silky raise the little spider paw.
You're next, buddy. You're next.
Best case scenario, the power is useful and isn't dangerous.
Well, and I guess
Worst
the more
case
he's
scenario,
looking at Gilthune,
we are down one less lizard. And we have an extra item on the to-do list, which is, oh my god, it's getting long.
It really is.
Well, I guess if he's busy looking at Gilthune, he's too busy not to be looking at us.
Yeah.
I hate it!
Which makes me even wonder, does he even want to save this planet?
If not, he can burn along with it.
Kind of rightly deserved after what he's done to it.
Well, he is kind of a prick, and as egotistical as he is, I do believe he does want at least to... I do believe that he wants to continue living so that he can still be an egotistical prick. So, even if his methods are unsavory and standoffish, I still, like I said, I do believe that he still wants to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know? He wants to get through this.
At the cost of
Just doesn't
thousands
care.
of lives, he destroyed an entire nation on the surface, Bracken.
Well, listen. He hasn't nuked anybody recently. that we know of.
I'm gonna look at Cobweb like, really?
Listen, I'm trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. Same as you.
You can say whatever you want about Ragni. I will hate him to the very bitter end.
I don't think
And
anyone's going to stop you
I
from
won't
hating
take that
him.
away from you. You can hate anybody as long as you know, for as long as you live.
Hmm.
He made his choice, now we make ours.
Yes. I will look at the Farseer. Do they still look like the Farseer, or have they switched forms?
You look over towards the center of the room and you observe the Farseer's form intact as she is staring off into the glistening stars that are now enchanted with cosmic energy.
So, about the Cartographer Corps.
I take it the mission Fulcrum sent you on was a success.
It was?
So you're one step closer then.
Yes.
I presume this is the part where you're going to ask me how to use this now altered core to make it whole again.
That's a fair assumption to make.
Yep.
It's a fair question to ask. Yet, I don't have a fair answer.
Can we talk to Fulcrum?
Fulcrum and I both are weak of soul at the moment. I have had time to consider my perspective, my place in this world. I exuded my will upon this body because I had an intense human desire to live. To forfeit my control of this body, to forfeit my own will to be enacted in the world, is to accept death. And yet when Fulcrum took over, I persisted still. Maybe my perceptions of sharing this form with something other than myself is not entirely as bad as I was originally considering.
Sometimes having a friend is nice.
It is.
I wouldn't go as far as to call Fulcrum a friend to me personally.
Give it time.
It's better than what she had, as Bracken kind of like does a thumb point to to Nadira.
Nadira had a parasite.
Right.
Yeah.
Ragni's actions are troubling. However, he has had many experiences with malevolent forces before. He is the most capable to reach into this dark void without it corrupting his mind. Still, it is desperate, and frankly, if he ends up falling to this power, I fear that the world may fall too soon for it to reap any negative consequences.
We did it before, we can do it again.
I think your energy is better spent on the opposing forces that move against you even now. It will take time for Fulcrum to re-manifest. Given the circumstances in which you've taught me, I'm willing to entertain her will over my own. That is a promise.
I mean, before we get into that discussion, I would like to say that what we did in order to be able to get to Fulcrum, it was not done with any sort of...
Malicious intent.
Yes, it was for what we believe to be the good of humanity, and that required her knowledge on how to fix the Cartographer Core.
I know, Dagny. All of us here in this sanctum, even with Ragni, the king, everyone is acting to save humanity the way they believe it should be done, what they perceive is the best way to move forward, to have a future. I can't fault you for acting for what you see as right. Isn't that what anyone can do? Isn't that all anyone can do at all? If looking at all of these future visions within the Farsight engine has taught me anything, is that we simply, to a large extent, share common goals. The only things that separate us are our thoughts on how to get to them.
How to get to them and what we're willing to sacrifice.
May I show you something?
Of course.
Dagny will reach into the bag of holding and will pull out the portrait of her mother and show her the mirror on the backside. My mother made this mirror. She herself had followed the work of the Startographers to make it. It had one single vision, and it was of me as a Startographer. With how difficult it's been, I don't even know if any sort of goal like that is possible, but her involvement with their work is what got my mother killed by the Angel of Death. So, I suppose it's one goal to try and look forward to. If anything, when I look in the mirror and see myself as a Startographer, there is one thing that makes me different from those that I've met before. My future self somehow managed to retain her humanity. And that's one thing that I can hope for.
Dagny, do you know why the Startographers forfeited their humanity?
I have always questioned it, but I've never been able to find an answer.
They did so given the circumstances. They needed to do so to persist, to survive long enough, to take everything that they have achieved, everything they hope to achieve for the future, and pass it on to a new generation to precede them. That describes 4 of the 5 Startographers. Fulcrum was different. She changed herself because she wanted to become more powerful, because she wanted to wield this power herself. Ironically, when it made her less than human, her ability to communicate intimately with Helios was lost. It's ironic.
Yes.
It comes down to a matter of perspective on whose actions were selfish versus selfless. Of course, Fulcrum wanted this power for herself. Selfish attainment of power is a common trait among those with ill intentions, but perhaps she didn't want to put the burden onto someone else. Contrary-wise, those who had sacrificed their humanity to pass their knowledge on to others are simply giving the burden of their own lives to someone else to solve. Whether Fulcrum or the other 4, who is truly more selfish? You be the judge.
Depends on your perception, I suppose.
That it does, and your opinion on such perceptions determines what it means for you to become a Startographer. What traits make you selfish? And are you willing to let them go? Or do you believe holding on to them is what is truly good for this world?
No, I never aspired to be a Startographer in the first place until I saw this mirror. If there's anything I'm holding on to, it's the answer to why my mother had to die. But if I knew the answer, then what other purpose would there be for me? How
What
would I move
knowing
on
the answer change for you?
knowing the truth, justifying my actions against the Angel of Death, and maybe feeling more connected to her and how she perceived magic. I've always thought magic was not only a tool, but a pathway to power. But you can't really have power without some sort of will, and my will has not reached that capability. Because
Perhaps your obsession on the fate of your mother is what drove you this far. Should you lose your drive now, perhaps that would spell disaster for what the ramifications would be should you never learn the truth and use this drive to change the world. Or perhaps I am on a tangent, spouting about nonsense. Either is tenable. But with the Farsight engine now bathed in cosmic energy, understanding the future any further is now impossible. The only thing that will give you answer is time.
And speaking of time, the king is going to be here soon, and we need things to discuss with him.
Right. That is one thing I can do for you as myself. There are many things that are being made in preparation for his arrival here at Aurora South. On his arrival, he will give a large address to the kingdom, on a stage to discuss the future actions decisively for the Aurorans. Regrettably, you are going to have to sit through his intent of actions before you can speak with him. But when you do talk with him, take his prior speech into account.
yes,
That is all I can promise. As for now, it will take time for us to know the way to further repairing your core. And I see that your projection into your avatar bodies has predictably left you exhausted. I would find some solace in maybe finding a tavern to sleep in, as I am sure sleeping within the sanctum of Arcana will no longer give you a sufficient sound sleep rest.
I think it's a good idea too. I don't want to be anywhere around that asshole.
Yeah.
Right, he is rather insufferable, no matter how many times I tell him to shut up.
God damn. Farseer based? Alright.
At least we're of the
yeah, I
same
get-
mind.
Let's hit the
Based
town.
Starseer?
What? Okay. Let's hit the
The
town.
king is set to arrive in approximately 46 hours. Take the next 8 or so to yourselves. And then, the next time you enter this sanctum, perhaps you will be speaking with Fulcrum. In the
Yes.
meantime, I will do what I can to influence the Auroran people.
Thank you.
We only get one shot at this. Let's not fuck it up.
No pressure.
Yeah. Honestly, all the pressure.
Okay, bye.
Never been to one of the king's speeches, so I'm excited for this.
Nerd.
Well, something that does.
At least I
fit
finished
with
college.
is
So did I, bitch.
Ragni's whole comment about showing the truth. It sounds so easy to do on paper, but actually showing them after what, a year of propaganda more? feels like a nearly impossible task.
I mean, it's either give them a glimpse of what we've seen, or I could.
Well, what if they seem to believe that we're under the influence of the Angel of Death? What if we don't tell them that we're not under the influence of the Angel of Death, but we make a dramatic showing of the heroic Auroran soldiers freeing us from captivity, and then all of a
So
sudden
why?
we're allies. Oh, that's a dumb idea, but also Plan B.
The perceptions of the Aurorans on High Shire have stood for roughly a century. With the time that we have to make decisions, this may not be enough to convince them that you are free from angelic influence. If there's one power that they understand, it's the one that they invaded your kingdom in the first place to take. Your ascended souls.
How do we show them those without dying? Just glow
They...
Firefly show?
They facilitated an entire invasion to get their hands on such power. If you bring this to them and demonstrate it is in your possession and you're willing to work with them, that will give you your greatest odds for establishing, at the very least, a neutral stance between two kingdoms.
I think it would
As was
even be
written.
even further bolstered since Kraken has one.
Given that an Auroran possesses this, this is the greatest boon to having some form of icon for which all the Aurorans can rally behind. Perhaps, on behalf of the king's perceptions, Kraken should take charge of being the leader of the group, at least purely for a public opinion.
For aesthetic purposes, of course.
Uh-oh.
Dr. Ratanaporn, I do hope that your leadership skills have been honed during your work in your labs, because it is about to get that much heavier on your shoulders.
Brackett is just like staring like right through the Farseer.
I just kind of
Just
I
like,
kind of pat.
Oh no.
I pat Kraken on the back. You're a better speaker than I am. You got this.
Maybe I laid it on a little too heavy.
No, you're good. He'll get over it.
You'll get over it, yeah.
Perhaps a drink or two in a tavern in a nice warm bed will allow you to warm up to your no-pound role as the savior of all mankind, Kraken.
Yes.
Yep, that helps.
Yeah. We need to go to that that one place that we went to for scouting the
Richie
fletching
Rich place?
estate. Yeah. The fletching estate, yeah. When we were scouting it. The spill, there we
Then
go.
off you should go.
The spill.
The spill, yeah.
Yeah. Let's head over to the spill.
You know what? I agree, but also I think we should probably have a backup just in case shit goes bad. And by that I mean, I have a feeling that when we make our move, so is the Angel of Death.
I think so.
No,
Well.
there's no coincidence in them saying they heard the Second King talk to them about deceivers coming into there. It's not a coincidence.
You guys don't think that they might be using him as like a mouthpiece? I mean,
No,
what
but
if it is the
I
king?
think the Angel of Death is doing that,
Yeah.
at least to the fanatical.
I mean,
He's been up there so long, there's no telling what they've done to him. Who's to say it's not really his voice?
he's stuck
Okay,
on,
so
if he's stuck on Atlas like you saw, Cobweb.
Yeah. They had him bubbled. They put him in gay baby jail. There's no getting out.
Demon, I have a question.
Yeah.
So you said that we've been able to like sense each other's presences with the Ascendant Soul.
Yes.
Have I ever felt like something distant was like not like looking but paying attention to me? Aware of my presence?
There are times where you have felt your own radiance fluctuate. And there are times when you feel like there may be something beyond your group that is reciprocating your presence. It's difficult to be certain if this is simply Helios above or something else that shares your power. Either way, there are signs.
I wonder if I could do something really stupid.
Ooh, I
No.
like stupid.
No,
I mean,
stupid.
we did suppress our
stupid.
presence using
Yes,
it.
so I assume my
So-
presence is currently still suppressed, or did that
I believe
end?
everybody
only-
is.
It only ends if you use a different Ascendant Soul power.
Well,
Like,
I'm
less for roughly a day.
stealthed. Could I try to get essentially what I guess the right word would be like a ping out there.
You want to echolocate?
Yeah, basically I want to see if aside from the like 4 other Ascendant Souls here, I want to see how close the other possible Ascendant Soul, or, the power, the Radiant Power is. I want to see if
The
I
Angel
can't
of
use
Death
to
is
essentially
probably
echolocate
stealth
that bitch.
right now. So if anything else pings, then
Okay, you essentially want to try to...
Essentially, yeah.
You want to get something of a location on the Angel of Death is what I'm hearing.
Essentially,
So-
not an exactly. I know exact would not really be easy if possible at all, but just a general. Hey, is she fucking close?
I'm
like a
gonna
cardinal
say
direction, maybe.
this: if you do this, there is a give and take. She
Yeah.
will probably
It could go
100%.
It could go
Yeah.
really bad.
She would, because she's better at this.
Yeah.
Like, you could get like a very broad area.
hmm
There's a high chance that she can just go.
She's
boom,
walking through
he's
that door.
right there,
Yeah.
and then she just appears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea,
But I think it's asking for
but it's a
trouble.
double-edged sword.
Yeah.
As for your recollection, now that you're thinking about this as a group, you can think of previous instances where something like this happened. Particularly you, Dagny, when you were off of the estate when you first landed in the Inner Kingdom, after you rescued the girl whose name escapes. Rhea Sindala,
Yeah.
and you were resting within the High Crag. You did try something similar, and you felt, from you just vaguely reaching out with your power, that you felt her presence almost immediately identify where you were at the time. And
Yeah.
again, when you were in the Manufactorum underground, and that you did not reach out for.
Yeah, but she was close by, so it's so yeah. I definitely will recount this to the others and say it's possible, but it's at a huge cost. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. No. This is why I'm glad I brought it up with the group rather than just doing it.
Yeah. if it's anything like, I imagine it's like radar rules. If you see them,
Like yeah,
We'll
we'd
see
be able
her,
to see
but
her. We'd have like a rough area of where she is, but she'd have a pinpoint location of where we are.
okay, let's get to the tavern and collapse for 8 hours.
Yes.
Unless there is something else brought up, are we still gonna go and talk to, the what's his name? The Emerald Jelly Dragon.
Anthosea.
yes.
Anthosea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still worth it. We only technically know what Arethal and I are capable of. We don't know about the rest of you. We do need to figure that out.
Fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
I have been
And
rolling
going to-
rather shittily on my religion.
Well, and going to the king, knowing what
Farseer.
2 out of 5 of us are capable of is not as valuable as at least over 50% of us knowing what we're capable of.
Yeah, I can definitely see him pointing at me and being like, "What do you do?"
Yeah, little green gobbo. Bing. Dance monkey
He just
dance.
grows taller, and that's it.
Farseer.
To be fair,
So-
if a 4-foot little manlet turned into like a 20-foot monster, you'd notice.
Yeah.
We noticed that
So-
Caleb's a grower.
Yeah, I mean, ugh, look.
Not wrong with that.
Okay.
Sometimes the
Ow.
worst show ponies are. But
How?
if we've got time, it's worth going to. Do we know how to find him? Do we know how to link up with
I think
Bestie
he-
over here?
I think we just go back to his cave. We kind of, well, at least you guys technically know where it is about.
Isn't his cave hella fucking far?
Yes, it is. It's near the equator.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
We're far away.
He was on the outskirts of Aurora South, anyways, when you guys met
Yes.
on the coast.
Yes. Near the
Wait
wizard
a
tower.
damn minute. I've been wanting to use this spell if it would work the way I think it would work.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, because you and I had kind of talked about it. Theoretically, if there are even any around, would this work? If I found a plant big enough?
Mm.
Let me see. Yeah, I know we wanted to extend the range on that, which is fine.
Well, this one didn't have the range. It was tree stride I had the range question about. Because
Oh, I see.
let me ping tree stride just so you have the... If I can fucking find it. There's too many spells on this list. That one. Because 500 feet doesn't make sense for a 5th level spell.
No.
Transport via plants is just like ba-bing. But,
Hold on, let me read this.
yeah.
That is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I can move us, guys. I just need plants.
Dude.
It just turns into like a platform 9 3/4, but with a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I could teleport us to the other side of the equator. Technically.
Nadira, galaxy braining, attempting to recall that blade of grass she brushed up against one time.
There
Well, the-
were a variety of craggy trees that were out near the equator. It was tough to tell if they're still alive. However, I don't even know if they technically be alive or transport via plants.
Thanks. It just says large or larger inanimate plant. I would consider a tree a plant, personally.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Trees are considered
So
plants.
yeah, technically, if you wanted to hop and skip over there, that is an option you could choose. However, where Anthosea currently is would need to be your priority.
Mm.
Yeah, we would still have to fuck around and try to actually look for them.
It's a man of mystery.
I mean,
We don't happen to have a crystal ball, a silver mirror,
What do you mean?
something filled with holy water.
Couldn't we sending him?
I
was
could
just
send a
gonna bring that
message
up,
to
yeah.
him.
Oh, that's true.
That you can.
You
Tell
do
him-
have ways.
Yeah. Like, the best I can do is send a message to him, tell him where to meet us.
Yeah, rendezvous
Just
point.
Give
Yeah.
them a location in the city, just like, yeah, meet us at this tavern in like an hour.
Look for the drunken goblin.
If he even has, the currency to get in here.
Mm.
He's a flying magical dragon. He can just teleport. Come on.
I mean,
That's fair.
I suppose.
I wonder. I've been trying to find a use for this spell, but I don't think this would work, but I might as well ask. Farseer, how linked to Helios is this entire...
That is a difficult question to answer. Where are you going with this?
Well, in case we needed a place to recall to, I'm going to essentially... I wanted to see if I could set up an area that we could essentially teleport to should shit go bad.
Yo!
That would be nice.
Now
It has to be linked, which is why I'm asking.
You do know that there are a series of other basins over in the connecting tunnel where other teleportation circles can be set down. So if you intend to put one here, you can do so.
Then I will do that with Word of Recall. It will, since I am technically casting the spell to designate this as an area, it will eat up my 6th level spell slot for the day.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, it's a fucking quick action. Jeez. Oh, it's 6 creature. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
If I had a 4th level, I would have done Mordenkanon's Private Sanctum and just thrown a house down somewhere.
Yeah.
I think also just to just for my own flavor, I think Aerithal, using whatever materials he has on him, just kind of tries to replicate a drawing of what the core looks like to strengthen that connection.
Yeah. Easily
All right.
done.
Are you guys ready to go get hammered?
Once he's done here, yes.
All right, I'm good.
Damn, that was quick. What?
Yeah, it is a surprisingly quick spell.
Okay.
Okay.
It took him longer to doodle than it did to cast.
Yeah, quite literally. No, it's got to look perfect.
Anyway, bye, Farseer. Also, I didn't personally apologize for hitting you in the face. That was uncalled for. I should have went for shots. That's my bad.
She waves you off with a dismissive gestures. All is seemingly forgiven.
And it's okay. It's about even. She put me in gay baby jail. It's all right. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
And I presume all of you are heading to head back to the Twin Kings Founding and back out to Aurora South to wind down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. This is a good point to take a 15.
Perfect.
Nope.
So 9:30ish. Got it.
Is everybody here?
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm
Yep.
back.
Okay. All right.
Is Kyo here?
Kyo.
He's still gone. See, that or his mic is muted.
No, that's
He's
what I
busy.
call.
I have returned. You're all gay.
There you go.
Dude, you summoned him by pressing the gay button.
All right. Aerithal, having put down your word of recall, the Sanctum of Farsight has been designated, and it is accepted by the spell, having strong ties to Helios after all. And with everyone ready to hang their hats, you head over towards the familiar teleportation circle and take your leave. And in a matter of moments, you are out of here.
Yeet. Oh shit.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
It's fine, they're just having a dinner.
Coming through the floor and remanifesting, you quickly find yourself interrupting something that being at the top of the Twin Kings Founding. You can see there is a noble that is seemingly being served a meal. Next to it appears to be a rather exotic race, as well as they are accompanied by someone who looks a bit more esoteric.
Cobweb looks at each of them in turn for a few seconds, and then slowly shuts the door.
They looked over to you rather surprised, and then the door, of course, shuts.
So we've got company.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like banging down the door to get to us. I say we just shit and get.
Okay.
Do these windows open?
We are several stories
Damn
up.
it.
I'm not putting out the window.
Who is going through that door
okay,
any less conspicuous than jumping out a fucking window?
Oh, I
what
can
is
fly.
it? He opens the
You
door
can fly.
really fast and then slips out while they're arguing.
Yeah, these windows are made of like a
Oh, fuck.
looking magical crystal.
Never mind,
Yeah,
he's
that's not
definitely
cool.
doing that.
Wait, hold on though. We were allowed presents to come up here.
Yeah,
That's true. We're not
fair.
doing anything wrong.
You're right. I just feel like they're here to jump us, that's all.
Walk out.
Oh,
Walk out.
I feel like too.
Confidence. Walk out with confidence.
Gentlemen.
The construct-looking spirit here is almost in the way of the door, but you manage to just slip past. And as Kraken, as you walk by this nobleman, all three of them are just looking incredulously at the party as you just appear out of absolute nowhere. However, the nobleman locks eyes with you, Kraken, and gives you a nod before saying, "Doctor."
Oh, fuck.
Okay, do I obviously I probably recognize him if he knows me.
You do not recognize this man. You've never seen him before.
Really knows you from your work.
So then I will do a low bow and go, sir, if you excuse me, I must be on my way.
They don't really reply to that. They have this uncomfortable stare, and the construction spirit here doesn't really react much, but is seemingly on guard duty of sorts. Kyle, what were you trying the door?
Yes.
Go
Let me
for
see
it.
here.
Oh, God.
There's,
shit.
why? There's so many. I don't like
Yikes.
this.
See you later.
Have context for what's taking place here. However, you have very obviously gotten a uncomfortable amount of attention from them, and some partial recognition as well. However, you are seemingly free to leave.
Go.
On Kraken's way out, does he recognize any like identifying marks or symbols on them, or are they all? It's just all completely strange.
Just going off of them at a glance and looking at their clothing, nothing is particularly telling. The individual who has the hood and glowing eyes looks vaguely like someone of Auroran authority, but there's just something a bit different about them.
Oh, I wonder what.
You don't really, you don't really get a good feeling from them.
Cool.
Alrighty. If I don't know, I don't know. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. Especially fucking Spoonface over there with the
Yeah.
glowing eyes.
Yeah.
I should have figured we'd run into the Illuminati eventually.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
pretty
they're
much.
just adding more guards because the king's gonna be coming soon.
Yeah,
guys.
that's
Like,
also a possibility, yeah.
it might not be us. It might just be that with the king, you know, doing his thing, they're trying to just arm the town.
Yeah.
All right, you take your
Wait.
leave.
We can only FAFO so much.
Yeah.
I mean, most nobles have their own, like, personal guard, so it could have just been somebody of note who has their own little personal army,
Yeah.
just hanging out. eating
Just
food.
casually flexing. That's fine.
Heading back down the long spiral, you look up and see that a lot of the overcast that had given the pseudo impression of nightfall in the inner world has passed, and a clear inner world sky is visible once again. There's still some passing clouds that are producing a light rainfall that are giving a light glisten to the stone that isn't protected. You proceed downwards back towards the entrance where you can see the sentinels and justiciars are at post that allow you to exit, and out into the streets you go promptly. Round of perception rolls.
Disadvantage.
Oh, that's right, I'm exhausted.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all exhausted? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is
Wait.
gonna suck.
Really hard to click when everything is moving.
Oh, oh.
Ghost,
There's
I guess.
3 of them.
Oh,
That's
my
terrible.
God, 3 fucking failures.
Casual
Kraken
17.
Shut up, Ariel.
Kraken is
3.
just like dealing with the insurmountable amount of pressure on him. Just
Yeah.
silently.
Yeah, it looks good.
I can't get past the 17 off of 3.
No,
Well, 17 plus. Well,
dude,
3
this
plus
is
14.
disgusting. Nobody
Yeah,
rolled
fuck right
above
off.
5. Fuck.
I sacrificed Dismiss for it.
Hey, this is how it started last time, okay?
Sorry.
All of you are coming to terms with everything that is just taking place now that you're officially out of the sanctums and you're out of that strange encounter on top of the Twin Kings Founding. You proceed quickly out of the main area. And Nadira, you in particular, you're quickly doing a pat-down check to make sure that Silky is within your possession, which you look over towards your shoulder and see that he is. And you're so he just gives you a little bit of a curious nod, but he seems a little too spooked to be of conversation, and fixate on him for a second, relieved that he's all right. So much so that you just bump into a nearby passerby without realizing it clumsily before they quickly slink away.
Silky, we are talking about this later.
He gives
And
this
Cobweb's just sitting there. They have eyes on the inside, eyes all around.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, we just need to talk about, your balls to the wall tendency there.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means you pulled a cobweb and got really impulsive really fast.
Well, but Cobweb's really cool, though, right?
Damn straight.
Okay, but
Yeah, there you
almost
go.
getting us killed and putting us in a dangerous situation is not.
Got you killed.
That probably would have ended really bad if it weren't for the fact that the audacity of the situation.
Oh, I'm a terrible scouter.
You're not a terrible scouter. There's just a time and place to use a giant knock spell on a big ass metal door.
Yeah, it's not that you did it, it's that you did it at the wrong time. You've got to know when to hit your mark, kid.
Subtlety.
Oh. Okay.
We'll teach you, it's fine.
All right.
Casually
So-
indoctrinating a spider into our criminal organization.
Look. Somebody's got to teach him, okay?
Go.
Oh yeah, I
Alright.
gotta calculate all the stuff that's gonna happen since we all rolled fucking 3 1s.
Where to?
This is really like.
I mean, it's not nighttime, so I feel like going and resting.
Yeah.
I mean, getting rid of the exhaustion would be nice, but we also should.
Yeah. Over to the spill.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we get here.
Should we at least set up a rendezvous with I keep wanting to call him Anthozea. There we go.
Yeah.
That's his name.
So we should probably at least set up a rendezvous. I'm like Anthozea, Synodrea, they all end the same.
Yeah.
We should probably at least set up a rendezvous with him.
We could probably just sending him on the way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oop. Pop. Eat. Warp. Off you go into the city.
Mhm.
A few paces off, your eyes are wandering, trying to keep yourselves as alert as you're able. However, something instinctively brings all of you to a bit of a halt almost without any need to say anything, as you feel a strange tingle on your skin. A very familiar sensation at this point. This is a tingle that is synonymous with cosmic energy. You feel it through the air, and it's wafting once again. And you look up, and you can see that the pylon flashes white. Many people stop in their tracks. There are illusionary displays which would fail at this point. And you can see there's two avatars that are off to one of the far regions that are assisting with heavy lifting for a nearby construction project that simply drop to the ground into their resources and are dispelled.
Oh, that's good.
Oh no.
That is most certainly not good.
Could I attempt to shake off my fucking delirium and try to locate the source of this paranoia?
Looking up, again, you can see that this was a shockwave that came from the pylon, the great pylon up here.
I thought...
This motherfucker.
My fault. I thought you meant like we felt someone watching us and then that happened. My fault.
No.
Gotcha.
This is now at least the third time that you've experienced this weird phenomena here in the inner world, and judging by the very concerned and a little bit of a panic reaction coming from those around you, this doesn't seem to be normal. And that was the strongest one that you had felt yet.
Why is it doing that?
It's like Ragni said. It's the reason, you know,
He sort of motions with his hands, not wanting to finish. In public.
Walking with determination to the spill.
Okay.
I won't say that they deserve it.
That's it. That's the end of the statement.
Kraken wants to kind of maybe like do a quick fly up like 10 feet in the air and do a quick search around. I'm probably not going to see anything because you're probably going to go by my one, but it wants to see if there's any like massive guard movement or anything like that to try to look at that, considering like a full-on shockwave went through. See if like anybody's rushing to go do anything about it.
You look up
Or
and
oh
take a
shit,
look
like
around
vehicles
at the
too.
reaction of the general public. It seems as though this wave of cosmic energy has caused some definite disruptions to Auroran life. As mentioned, there were many illusionary displays every so often that seem to broadcast worldly events. And those have shut down for a time. You can see there's mechanics that are moving away, artificers to be certain, that are seemingly probably trying to swap out the polarity of the power source and are doing what they can to get things up as quickly as possible. You look over and you can see that there's a few, there's two Auroran officers that are at a nearby street side, and you can see that there's a gaggle of people that have formed around them, demanding answers or seemingly tugging on them for some form of attention contest, and they're doing what they can to ease people's nerves.
Alrighty, well, as long as there's not like straight up people running around in circles like their chickens with their heads cut off type of panic, I think it's fine to leave it be. So yeah, let's go head to the spill or whatever it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Quick.
Yep.
All right. You can continue onwards, and you can see that there's a. Fuck is this that I rolled? You can see that there's a small plaza that you walk by, where there's a crowd that's gathered up. It looks like there's something of a shouting match that's going on between many people. And you look up to see that there's a gallows that has been erected, and there is a still smoking body that appears to be hanging from it. A dark-robed figure, now dead and charred to a point, much to the mixed reactions of the crowd. It looks like someone of significance here has been executed publicly, and whether or not this is a good thing or a bad thing is depending largely on who you ask.
Fuck.
How?
Not so enlightened and civilized now, eh?
How common is straight up gallows style public execution?
Generally, it's rare, but it does happen for those that are considered facilitators of treason, or commit egregious crimes, or commit any crimes that surround the thrones. And this one, it appears to be someone at least who's put together, and you are assuming the latter.
Reserved for...
Cobweb would approach one of the crowd members, sort of hugging on their leg.
Hey, you.
Huh?
What's up? I've been out of town for a little bit. Well, what'd he do?
He sort of jams a thumb in the direction of the corpse.
Oh, yeah, this prick. Well, it was one thing to hang him, it was another to jar him. You can't be too sure about these slippery bastards, you know? Cultists.
Cultists?
Yeah, they call themselves, Leandro's children or something.
Oh my god.
Damn. That's crazy. Man, couldn't be me. Anyway, see you later. Thanks for the info.
Fuck, man.
What?
It can't be me.
Shit.
We just need to lay low, keep our heads down, and keep it moving.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
I'm starting to think the spill may be a bad idea.
How do you mean?
I mean, if they manage to get back here, what's to stop them from lurking around town trying to quote unquote spread the good word?
Where else do we go?
I mean, there has to be another place around here we can stay besides the spill. Kraken?
Yeah, I would assume that there's other places to stay for the night, and just anywhere really.
I mean, yeah, that's just what we found on the cheap.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was speaking to the DM.
Hold on, what are you asking here?
I would assume that there's other places besides the spill that we can go to that are nearby.
A number, yes.
Yeah, so I'll probably follow me. There's one over here, and just bring him to whatever the nearest one is.
You recall one that you've been to a number of times in your more scholarly days in years past. You recall getting pretty hammered here a number of times. So much so that the actual name of the place you don't remember due to things being fuzzy. All you do know is
Kraken doesn't drink. Sorry.
Well,
You got into so many bar fights that, yeah, you don't remember the name of the place.
well, retcon that in either case, given that you do not partake much yourself. You don't have a strong familiarity with the place. All you do know is it's there, and in passing, your colleagues have talked highly of it. So you make a quick way to usher people down a side street. And about 5 minutes into your trek, you're about maybe 10 minutes from being there. Things are a little bit slow because crowds are a little bit more dense. People have taken to the streets because that disruption has people a little bit more stirred, and there's conversation asking around for what happened and what it may mean. And for Nadira, keeping up with the party, there is a very large gray arm that reaches out to you suddenly and kind of tugs on your shoulder for a second. As you look over, you see another arm reach to you and hands you something quickly in your hand. And you just look over and see who's responsible for this.
Whoa!
What is that?
That is a Luxodon.
Yup.
It's an Entidont.
You look over, and there's this large fellow. The race is unfamiliar to you, and hands something small metallic into your hand, and quickly closes your hand around it and leans over to you. You're being followed. And just like that, off he goes.
What did he hand me?
You look down at your hand.
He gave you his number.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, really?
Oh, this is the thing again.
He's back.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
What the fuck do you mean back? You've had that in your inventory this whole time.
We know.
Okay.
Let me
So-
sing my Eminem. I'm not hurting nobody. Okay.
You're speaking of, because last you checked, that was in your backpack.
God, these fuckers with the losing it, and Aerithal took it, and then he didn't take it, and then we ended up with it again. Ugh. Mostly I'm observing the knowledge that he said we're being followed. So, just to be on the safe side, are we almost where we need to go?
You're a good 10 minutes of steady pace from getting
Okay.
to this place.
I'm gonna relay to the group that some Gigantor just told me that we're being followed. And then I'm gonna cast this just to
Well,
give us a little extra sneaky.
well, I would assume we were being followed. That's probably why that the executed man was executed. He was probably caught, maybe keeping an eye on us for the guys down south.
Oh boy.
I mean, they weren't gonna do anything.
It's watching us is still not engaging directly. Besides, people can lie.
I mean, either way, we're being watched, we're being followed, we need to lose it.
Yep.
So, help us lose it.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
I have an idea, and if it works, it will be allowed, but we will be able to escape in the confusion.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna run it by you. Okay, so I could have Tim Petty use his little steam geyser, and then use Gust to blow it out into the crowd, heavily obscuring the area, so that we could basically ninja disappear into the crowd.
Well, and with Pass Without a Trace, that would give us a little extra stealth boost.
Yeah, and not only that, we may need Kraken to explain where the place is, because we'd probably be more stealthy just scattering, really.
Yeah,
Although splitting the party is dumb.
it is.
Yeah.
So I suggest we just
Diversion
get
and
a
run.
distraction. We try to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Now, I will say here with Pass Without Trace, this is only a second level spell, understand?
Yeah.
You are in a very public area, and there are dozens of eyes on you at any given second. If someone's watching you, this isn't just going to make them magically lose you.
Yeah. No, I know.
This would
But
only
at
apply
at least if
someone
we
is
dug
tracking
into
you from your literal
alleyways.
tracks.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, but we don't even know who's following us.
We
so-
don't even know who's following us. We have no idea who it is, what it is.
So maintain the Pass Without Trace for now. But I think once the crowds have thinned a little bit, I'm gonna try looking back to see who's following us.
Roll perception.
Does not help that I'm doing this. Nah, I don't think it's even gonna matter. Is it? Yeah, no.
You have a busy crowd that is a bit more stirred than usual given the recent commotion. So there's all sorts of people moving about and glances looking every which way for people who are looking for some answers to the many questions that are within the crowds. There's nothing very telling.
Just kind of urge Nadira to keep moving along.
Hey, but if it gets too hairy, just let me know when.
If it gets too hairy, yeah, you set it off.
Yes.
I suppose we just continue?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the people following this are like malicious or attempting to ambush us. It could be beneficial to maybe try to set up some sort of reverse ambush.
I mean, we'd have to go into an empty alleyway if there is one.
Yeah. And I'd have to break line of sight to prep, but
Yeah.
so what are we thinking? Are we gonna do the steam thing? Because I don't like being followed, and if we're heading in the direction of the place we're gonna be staying, then you know there's no point in leaving them there.
Hmm.
So it sounds to me like we're just gonna keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acting
Yeah,
too
I can't.
conspicuous is not a good idea.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else to like do that's beneficial.
Okay. Go beat bomb. Oop. Give me a second here. Forward you continue. Having everyone's hackles raised, you sift through the many crowds of Auroran life, and eventually, Kraken, you do recognize the place that you are vaguely familiar with as a large sign dangling from its porch comes into fresh view. You look and see the fresh flask is directly ahead.
Fresh flask.
Yep.
Nice.
I like it.
Presume you're
Alrighty.
hurrying inside.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Cool. Aha! I get to use my tavern playlist now.
Whee!
Go.
Hell yeah.
Are we going to get more hardcore of running up that hill?
Nah.
Who's
We might. Odds are. You proceed
Who's got
inside,
scratch?
and this place has a bit of a thin crowd, given both the time of day and recent events. You have a decent amount of places you could sit down, and there's a very wide adjacent wing that spreads off into a arcing hallway, kind of angling to the right, like a semicircular wing, where you can see no less than a dozen rooms that go off. And the composition of this place is quite nice, and has a citrusy aroma in the air. They seem to have a strong selling point on their drinks.
Well, suppose this is as good a place as any.
Yeah, you guys want to set up the room while I buy the first round?
Yeah.
As he sort of totters over to the bar.
Oh my god, the song that's playing.
Yeah.
Is this the song you were just referencing?
What?
That wasn't planned. What the fuck?
Amazing.
Christ.
I was like, wait, this sounds familiar. Amazing.
Oh man. Over at the tavern, or the front counter rather, you can see that there's a high elf with his long golden hair, who's making small conversation with a tiefling, and you're free to approach and request as you wish.
Cobweb stands up on his tippy toes, climbs up onto a stool, and slaps the counter.
I'm gonna need some strong drink over here.
Oh, that can be arranged. What did you have in mind?
Well, give me 4 dealer's choice.
As he slaps,
Well, how much is a drink here? I'm not looking for top shelf stuff, just something that's gonna get me there, you feel me?
Top shelf. Well, we have our flying fruits that are quite the punch for those who are inclined. Now, I understand that if you're looking for something that's going to knock you and get straight to the point, we can do away with all of the cold punching. You know what? I'm just going to let the drink speak for myself. I'm not the most well-spoken guy, so sure. It's about 1 gold per drink, and is it 4?
1 gold per drink. Holy shit. Yeah. Give me 2. Actually, 5.
Okay, you threw like 3 numbers at me here. I'm trying to get this straight just so I don't.
Give me 2. No, wait, 5.
Sorry, I've got minor brain damage.
Maybe you have had enough already.
he slaps 5 gold on the counter.
Give me 5. Just give me 5 mugs.
Very well.
Sorry.
Yeah, he accepts your gold apiece, I think I said. And before long, you can see that he has this metallic apparatus with a whole bunch of like what looks like pneumatics and whatnot set up on this back counter, and you can see that he has 6 different fruits that he puts into 6 different little pedestals that get squished, and all these parts that are squishing the fruit kind of mush them together into this funnel, and it goes down this spiraling tube, and there's this weird puff, some magical something that seems to work with this spiral in some way, and you watch as the juice of the fruit changes color 3 times before reaching the bottom of the apparatus and being poured into the drink. And he would repeat this process a number of times. Meanwhile, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it sounds like an arcade's espresso bar.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got like a fruit
press, yeah.
Yeah.
As for Kraken, you look over towards the center of the tavern. There's something of a circular stage that is currently occupied by what looks like a illusionary device that was previously projecting some form of entertainment, and you can see there's a novice artificer who's fiddling with it, trying to get it back up in working order, but is struggling greatly.
Would you like a hand with that? As Bracken walks over.
Oh, you know a thing or two about these models?
Well, an extra set of eyes won't help, or won't hurt.
Well, I'm kind of embarrassed to take any random help, but here's the thing. I don't know what happened with this thing, but yeah, if you want, yeah, I can really use it.
Yeah, Bracken, I guess we'll take a look, try to figure it out.
Okay, roll Arcana.
Oh, I have to do it at disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's rough, buddy. Never mind.
Okay, pretty
Little
good.
dirty
Not
twenty,
bad,
man.
not bad.
You can see that the cosmic wave that flowed through Aurora South seems to have suppressed the power source, and you think if you give it a bit of a jolt, now that it is past, it might get it going again. Very easy to do.
Yeah, I guess Bracken will, like, do the forced restart on it, basically.
You hold the power button for a few seconds, and
Yeah, basically. Disconnect,
Before long.
turn it off, disconnect it, turn it back on, reconnect it.
You reconnect the conduit to the power source, and you see as the illusionary iris hums to life. And you see, after a few moments, it once again begins displaying the silent image that it had been displaying before. It looked like a series of very colorfully dressed dancers that were in some form of line dance. It's a bit glitchy, and the signal's not too great. So you're a really good check. You make a couple adjustments and kind of reset it a few times, and eventually switches to something else that's rather clear. And as for Cobweb, the barkeep has all 5 drinks in hand. I believe you got, what, 5 was it? If I'm not mistaken?
Yep.
He lays them down and looks down at you. He's kind of sizing you up a little bit, like, is he going to be okay? Maybe he's drunk already. I'm sure his thoughts are somewhere in that department. And then his eyes trail above and over you, over towards the center stage, where you see Bracken was messing with a illusion iris. And what it is now projecting, you see that there is a dancing goblin with a lute, and there are words that come up in common saying the mystery lute goblin performance is occurring at the spill within the next 24 hours.
What? This is despicable. This is
Cobweb's been threatened.
someone's stealing my flow, bar for bar.
The barkeep looks over back at you. Hey, is that your thing?
What do you mean?
Is that you? You know you performed.
Oh, yeah, that is me. And I didn't agree to perform anywhere.
Huh. Well, might want to speak with your agent. But here's to your drinks. I would stagger yourself between one and the other, you know? If you end up regurgitating this, it tends to be extremely frothy.
Damn, that's not what I want to hear before. Okay. Most of them are for my buddies anyway.
Oh, well, in that case, you should be all right.
Yeah. They should be getting the room by now.
His buddies are him, like me, myself, and I.
For fuck's sake.
All right.
And depending on how drunk Cobweb gets from this, he may go and exact revenge on the faker.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. As for everyone else, any actions that you would like to take immediately? Are we all taking a drink here?
Yes.
Anybody abstaining?
I think
Yeah.
I'll abstain.
Cobweb is taking 2.
Somebody's got to be the DD. For all intents and
Bracken will
purposes.
Bracken will just like handshake good luck with your next repairs wherever you have to go, and then he will go and join the rest of the gang.
He gives you a thankful nod. nod. And he kind of tugs on your arm a little bit. The artificer's like, hey, dispute. And he slides 3 gold into your pocket as a thank you.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You saved my ass. It's all yours. Please.
Well, thank you again.
Hey, Bracken, you got the light show to come back on. Yeah, this place was dead.
I think you got caught on Candid Cam.
No, I don't. First of all, you guys are all goblin face blind. That's not me.
As he points to fucking.
This is horrible, and dare I say it, racist.
I mean, he's got a point, Bracken. As she takes a drink.
Okay, could I insight check to see if it is like, is very obviously him or not?
Go for it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's go at disadvantage.
Oh, wow.
All
Hey.
goblins. You haven't met many goblins. I mean, they kind of look the same to you, but
Bracken may be a little bit racist.
yeah, at least the dance that this mystery loot goblin is doing isn't one you've ever seen Cobweb do before. But even so.
Yep, I'm gonna have to do something about that.
Do you have to?
Yes, I have to.
We're kind of in the middle of something important. Can't wait till later.
I mean,
I guess if
Yeah, I
everybody
get
else
it,
is
yeah.
gonna be,
And he tosses that shit back like a monster.
I guess if they're gonna be drinking, Bracken will take with that 3 extra gold in hand. He will go up and order like a group room for the gang,
Okay.
a multi bedroom or whatever.
One ideally with 5 beds.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can tell that
At
the
least,
place
yeah.
is a bit more upscale. And you go for just one that suits the purposes, and you have one that is all the way down at the end. The larger room suites. For them a bit. For 5 gold. For a 24-hour period.
Alrighty then. It hands it over.
Okay. Remind me who was taking a drink?
Me?
Yeah, Cobweb's
Cobweb.
taken 2.
All right. Yeah.
What the
hey,
fuck was
character.
that?
Pardon me?
Let's see what we got here.
I'm waiting for like a roll at D100.
Oh my god.
That's exactly what's happening.
Don't tempt him. God damn it.
That's exactly what's happening. All right.
Fucker.
I know him too well. I know him too well.
You know what? We'll make it public. Fuck it.
Oh shit.
Let's see what we got. You look in, you can see that most of the patrons have relatively settled down now after the occurrences outside. It looks like that now that you got the illusionary display going, people have something to focus on. And you can see after the mystery loot goblin has been shunted away for something else, it depicts a series of dragons in a smoky sky that are doing battle with one another. And you look over and you can see that there's some people openly criticizing it in the corner. A series of, look like, bards with a wizard friend. And they're talking about how a lot of the accuracy of the dragon's breath appears to be wrong. And how there was one that was red that was supposed to be green. they seem to be debating specifics on it, and they start retelling their own version of it, openly denouncing it, before their wizard friend starts creating some illusions of his own, recreating the scene, but to their supposedly more accurate depiction of it. And you can see that there's a few onlookers that are scoffing at them, some approving, and there's a hot debate between these two versions of this dragon fight.
It's literally
I can't-
fan fiction.
I can't believe you've introduced us to the D&D version of Star Wars. Fucking nerds.
Bruh. Greedo shot first.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Aerithal. You're a pretty perceptive lad, aren't you?
I am very perceptive.
Yeah. Huh. Neat.
Not today.
You're keeping your head on a swivel and enjoying the company of your friends. Looks like Kraken has a room secured and returns with a key. However, as a newcomer enters the doors, you notice that there is a figure about 20 paces outside the door with his back towards the wall, with a side eye looking into the tavern.
This bitch.
Okay.
Oh boy,
Goldilocks is back.
Time to notify the party. Might have trouble.
Why do you say that?
Yellow hair and all that outside the tavern.
Didn't we see that guy when we were leaving? Whatchamacallit? When we were
You
leaving
can
the
have to
Fletcher
share my memory
estate?
here. Oh. Oh yeah, that was the guy that. Oh.
Is that,
Hmm.
if he's the one that's following us, what is he on about?
Wonder if he thinks we stole anything.
I mean,
We didn't.
not from where we saw him.
I still feel like he's just keeping an eye on us. Just making sure we don't expose those people.
We didn't have any interaction with this guy that we passed by him.
He could also just be really curious. I mean, we did kind of crash their party.
And fuck up his portal for a while.
That's true too, yeah.
Circles can be perpetuated again. I just dispelled it for a little while. It don't last that long.
Yeah, but you
I
still
mean,
might
if
have
somebody-
been curious.
If somebody broke the door into your house, I think you'd be upset, despite the fact that you could just rebuild it.
Yeah, but arcane doors and physical doors are different. Whatever. She just takes a big old swig of her drink.
Well, so we'll just keep an eye on him while he may be keeping an eye on us.
I mean, it's not like we're going anywhere anytime soon. Might be waiting till it's left empty to be talking to us. Else, why would he follow us? And then her eyes get wide for a second. Unless...
Unless.
Go on, use your words.
I just whispered to Aerithal, covering my mouth and saying, "You don't think it's her in a different form, do you?"
I don't like that thought. Oh, I really don't like that thought. I don't know.
Well, no point in antagonizing him right now. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and she's gonna keep drinking her drink.
Oh God.
I have a habit of overthinking things. It's probably nothing.
But she probably
Hey,
stopped.
now that you
stop
said it in
drinking.
that way, he is almost certainly going to kill us in the middle of the night.
It's a good thing we're gonna be setting up watches.
I mean, it's not like she'd get anything out of us if we're dead.
One less enemy.
It's just die and then we don't have to do it anymore.
This is really good. What is this?
I'm gonna take the damn glass out of her hand.
No, I'm holding on to it for dear life. No.
You do not need more.
No.
I don't know what this fruity shit is, but it's making me tingle on the inside.
God, humans are such lightweights.
Don't make fun of me.
I literally weigh 100 pounds.
That's, yeah.
Oh, for 20. I'm allowed to drink if I want.
Don't tell me what to do, Mom.
You're not my mom.
Oh, I certainly am not.
No, you're not. My mom's dead.
Bruh.
Right. Now that Cobweb has finished both of his drinks, and he is now 20% alcohol by volume. He
Cobweb
will,
is 20 proof.
he will he will drunkenly stumble towards the room, looking to die for the next 8 hours.
Yeah, Kraken will go with him since he's got the key.
All right. The two of you begin to make your way towards the room and proceed into the parking wing. And shortly after doing so, a adjacent room, a large figure comes into view and intercepts you.
Oh, shit.
The big
I'm afraid
guy.
there's been a mistake. We've given you the wrong key. Allow me to show you to your correct room.
We're not with them.
Cobweb sort of squints at him.
That's a sick beard you got.
Thank you, but this is rather urgent because there's a lot of guests here, and we don't want to keep them.
I want to insight check him. Does it look like he's coming out of like another like guest room, or is it just like a random like office or hallway or some shit?
There's a side hallway that leads to what looks like a utility room that does have windows in it, like a small office.
Okay, I still want to insight check him.
Go for it.
I don't believe big man. I'm gonna add my +4 to that for Flash of Genius. So 20.
You're aware that this guy has already intercepted you guys once and was seemingly tipping you off and helping you. And now he's doing it again. It seems like there's more than one force at play that is interested in you at the moment, and he's seemingly trying to lead you away from whatever else may have their eye on you.
Okay, so
I don't know, Kraken. What do you make of him?
I feel like we should at least go with him. But we'll see what happens. And then Kraken will go, well, if we've been given the wrong room, I'm gonna... may we swap keys then?
Certainly. I feel like the first one that we provided for you will be sufficient.
I guess. Is he gonna hold out like a key or anything like that, or am I
No,
just
he's
expected to
gesturing
follow?
over towards Nadira.
Oh, okay. Oh.
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 Oh. I
So
get it.
he's
All
a
right.
Okay.
he's a messenger. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
He's a messenger. Okay.
that's a
Alrighty
first.
then. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh. Well, thank you for the key.
I'm still sitting down. Someone needs to come get me.
Bracken will just turn up. Come, Cobweb. We've already been given our key to our room.
Okay, but the door's here though.
Ah, yes, but we have a much better room that awaits us.
Right on. Lead on. I can't see very well.
I fully expect us to like turn around and walk like not even 10 feet to where Nadira is.
Yeah, I think at this point, Dagny's sort of leaning on Nadira heavily. You smell nice.
Okay.
You're done.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to.
It's like, how do you make yourself smell so pretty?
Okay, you're no more
I'm going to
alcohol
bust
for
out
you.
the
We're
magic
going.
taser.
It's
Do not taser her.
Bracken is gonna just speak in Nadira's mind. So we're going to ignore the key that I was given here. We'll use that as a false sense. But I believe we are being invited to your little fancy key there. Maybe we should get the gang and find a nice little corner to unlock wherever it leads.
Yeah. Did I see the big elephant guy talking to them?
Yep, he's pretty big.
He's pretty big. Okay, we saw the big boy. All right. I'm gonna like prop Dagny up, like
No.
obviously
Here,
half
Nadira.
leaning on me.
Nadira, allow me.
Yeah. Thank you.
oh, why'd you do that? Damn it!
It's
I
just
think you
over.
need to be of your right mind.
Yeah.
Counterspell it.
I'm not wasting a third level spell slot on that shit.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
What's going on?
You're really cute when you're drunk, but we do have things to do.
Okay, well now I have to play gay for
I
you.
thought we were resting.
Oh,
We.
we have been given a fancy new room, so we're gonna go use the fancy new.
We're gonna. The less people you say that in front of, the better.
I always speak in your
Oh,
mind.
still in my
so-
head.
yeah.
Perfect.
Well, it's everybody's for the game.
Oh, okay, great, amazing. All right. Well, we're all here. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Bracken will lead them to their regular like room door, wherever their key would actually lead. I'm assuming there's like number coordination or something, and
Yes.
a gesture to Nadira.
Is the door out of sight of like the others?
It's enough around the bend, so if there's anyone by the front entrance, they will not be able to spot you entering it.
Okay, what about windows and stuff like that?
There is a small window that you can see at the far side of this place.
Can I just make sure nobody's
I want
creeping
that
on us
spell
through the
back.
window?
Here,
Are you?
I can.
So, like, how? Make sure I understand your intentions here. So you're going to the room that the barkeep provided you the key for?
Yes, and then and Nadira will use her key,
Whatever this fancy key
the
was that
memo
I was
key
given.
in the
Yeah.
door, because doesn't it like open a? You have to stick it in a door to unlock it, and it just makes like an instantaneous portal or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
basically
what
the
we're
plan.
doing.
Basically, we're going to our room. We're
And I
using
just
the
want to
key.
make sure that
Oh.
there's nobody watching us from outside the like the tavern is, but
I will just if. How big's the door? Is it like 5 foot or something? Because I'll just
It's your average size door, really.
I guess I'll just minor illusion, just pure darkness over the mirror or the window, just to
I see.
completely block it out.
The
Wait,
you can currently see out, and with a quick illusion, it becomes obfuscated.
Okay, memory key. Out. Into the door. It goes. Turning that
There's
shit.
a violet shudder in the door as the door around its frame pulses with this familiar otherworldly energy, and there's a bit of a thrum coming from the handle.
Okay. Over the river and through the woods we go.
All right, enter you do.
It's the Thocket Pocket.
I don't know how you are dyslexic.
I'm aware I can read.
Okay.
I can't read.
Thought Pocket? Yes, I can.
Dude, Thoget Pocket is actually my favorite now. I think that's
Yeah,
great.
I
Pocket,
fucking love
pocket,
it.
walk it.
You call me dyslexic. I call me amusing.
This is a strange looking room. Where are the beds?
Don't worry about that. I know Practical will just close the door behind him.
You look over at the familiar sight of a friend, if you choose to call him that. The Recollector in his vat. Towards the top end of his large bottle, there is about a dozen various other bottles that are floating and dancing around in something of a circle around the large one. And you can see occasionally one stops and is lifted up higher, shaken about, and you swear you can see purple ethereal eyes form all around it, inspect it for a second, and then rejoins the remaining dancing bottles as other bottles are randomly plucked out of the dance and are given the same treatment. And it's after a few moments that you are noticed.
Ooh, yeah. The humans are so stupid. Hi. I was absolutely kidding that last thing I just said. Absolutely kidding. Hello. Yeah, smart
Hey.
Fine,
guys.
I'm not a,
Hey,
That's fine,
buddy,
I'm not a
nice to
human.
see you again.
Buddy.
Hey.
You
Look, him and I have been through some shit, okay?
Oh yeah, the deer and I, we're buddy. We go way back.
We go way back.
Way
Man.
back.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well,
You're
good to
the rec.
know,
And
acquaintance
she
is no
just
acquaintance.
she just points her finger at it. You're the Recollector, aren't you?
Yes, babe, he is.
Hey, you're right. That's me. You've heard of me. You have heard of me. I like that.
Well, I mean,
So what was with the big guy, Crony?
Who?
The big guy handed me this key.
Who?
The elephant?
Elephant?
Who?
I know.
a
No.
gray hairy Loxodon?
Oh.
No? Okay, fine.
I
I'm
think
not an owl, but you're really pushing me here.
Well, he does deal in memories, so.
Yeah. That reminds me. I do have limited perception through the key that you buddy around with. Keep it in the bag all the time. You guys should come visit me more often. What the hell's wrong with you?
A lot of things.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've already peered into a few of your noggins, so that tracks. That really tracks.
a few. You've peered into all of us?
I didn't say that. How bad? Wait, do you think? Okay, no, I don't like shit in other people's outhouses without being invited into it. Mind you, there's etiquette to this business.
Well,
That was a terrible analogy. Forget I said that.
well, it seems like we only come here when there's some sort of purpose, so why are we here?
Usually I ask you that.
Apparently.
You think we could crash here for a bit?
Okay.
It's just we're totally being followed. And a big scary elephant man told us to get the fuck out of Dodge. We sort of assumed that you sent him, but now that we sort of know he was a rogue element, I don't even know how he knew about you. I barely knew about you.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't really get a lot of advertisement for my shop. That's kind of interesting. I have fans. I have fans. I think I have fans. Oh, that's delightful. More business. Hey, that reminds me, we don't talk a whole lot. I've been trying to make sense of where you guys have been bouncing around to lately. Last time we were chit-chatting, Nadira, it was something about something nibbling on your noggin.
Yeah, I got that fucker out, and then we pushed him into a giant hole.
Oh, good. It sounds like he deserved it.
Yeah, he really did. He was such an asshole.
Oh. Wait,
But yeah,
I think,
he was
I think
dealt
he's
with. It was kind of
talking
great.
about- I think he's talking about that gross, horrible abomination from beyond our star that we killed in the.
The one that
The
ate
cavern,
people and
remember?
made you forget about them?
The false Hydra,
Oh,
yeah.
Are you talking about the Hydra, or you're talking about the bad juju I had going on in my head?
He's
You
talking.
had a lot of bad things going in your head, and you still do. You don't smell clean.
Yeah, you last talked to him in Kunahold when we were trying to figure out what was going on.
Bro, I thought I've talked to him since. Look, buddy, we got a lot to catch up on.
We do.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh, rude. Okay, anyway, so the false Hydra, yeah, we also beat that too. We got the fuck out of there. And then the bad juju that I had going on in my head with Gilthune and all the badness also sent him into a hole.
Ooh.
Right?
Say, there is something rotten about the way you smell, Nadira. It's not just the physical, even though it's probably been a while since you've all cleaned yourselves. I'm talking about that curse that's still rattling around in your noggin.
Yeah, well, unless you know a god, I have no way to get rid of it.
Well, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I mean, if you look at me in the right light... Man, I really usually my jokes kind of land a little bit better than that. I don't. But you guys are a tough crowd.
Well, they're just in shock at how amazing you are. That's it.
Well, I mean, who could blame them? But I have fans.
I think the last time I talked to you was before an angel tried to slit my throat.
That's right.
Yeah.
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 You, oh, I can smell it on you, that's right. I gave you that partial refund, and you learned about a certain fate. An angel that kinda stabbed you in the back. They do
Yeah, well,
that
he's dead,
sometimes.
so
Well, he
Oh,
was.
very often.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
he's dead now.
Back up. We're clearly, once again, not talking about the same person here. I was talking about an angel.
Yeah, we.
Coda. Idravok is dead now.
He's for sure. He was like banished to the Shadow Realm for sure.
The
Yeah.
angel just killed him.
Coda was the one that killed him. She's the angel of death.
Yeah. There was some, angel on angel action going on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hold on a second. You're telling me angels, first of all, can die, and you're telling me that it was another angel that killed
Right?
an angel?
I come to see you after so long, and I just bring you so much news.
This... Wow.
Right? The tea's piping hot.
I
The
mean,
times are really coming, aren't they?
what do you mean?
Oh, well, I can show you, but quid pro quo.
A memory for a memory, you mean?
Yes.
Mm. But we wouldn't get to choose which memory it is, would we?
You can, but you're not going to remember.
Yeah, I did get
So-
kind of apparently choose it when, I was super turbo insane.
Yeah.
You know, There's a lot of things I can offer you guys. It seems like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders at the moment, and you have a whole lot of questions and a whole lot of no answers. So I can offer some things that might really tip the scales in your favor if you know what to ask for.
Okay, well, we're gonna start with the comment you made about the curse that you can smell on me, which is rude, by the way. I know I haven't showered, but like,
Sorry.
what about the curse?
So, remember I shuffled a deck and had you pick your favorite card?
Yeah, and I ended up with probably the best case fucking scenario.
No, you did not. You smell because of what you did. However, if you did choose the right ones, you can rewrite history, you know.
You ain't fucking around with that shit again.
You want to try again?
Wait,
Yeah,
cards?
you said playing cards?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a deck. You pull a thing, something's happened. I got cursed.
Yes.
Okay, DM.
If that isn't the best thing, and not the worst thing, Cobweb, you're not going to gamble with the weird amorphous tentacle thing in a jar.
No. But hear me out though. I've done worse.
Unless it's gonna cure me of the curse, no thanks.
Technically, it could.
It
Outside of-
might.
Yeah, well, I have to
Yes.
get real lucky to do that.
You know, this.
Let's
begs
go
the-
gambling.
I mean, this also begs the question: are we the first humans that you've dealt with?
No. In fact, I mostly deal with humans. But prior to meeting all of you guys, prior to becoming buddy with Nadir, I haven't had anybody come to buy my wares in a really long time, understand?
What do you have that can tip the scales?
Well, if you want to take a gander at removing that smelly curse and maybe doing something that bends the realities of time and space, you could draw from one of my cards. Some of them might do that, probably. Oh, another thing to mention about that, when I was dealing with that previous draw, that was kind of just the base deck. I found expansions. There's 66 possibilities now.
Oh my god.
That sounds
You've really been
wonderful.
expanding.
Pulls lever on the slot machine. Let's go gambling.
You are activating my gambling neurons, sir. I would like to take a pull.
You wish to draw from the cards?
Oh my god, Cobweb, no.
Yes.
I feel like this
Unless-
is gonna be a bad idea, Cobweb.
It is a bad idea. I was cursed.
Cobweb, I've heard good things about you from the noggins of those you travel with. I have been waiting for this for a while, my lord.
Look, just be gentle
Yeah,
on him.
no,
This is
I-
first.
Okay.
I enjoy your the chaos that you exude, funny creature. Show me the cards.
Jesus.
Pick your favorite.
At that point,
Oh
you
my
see
God.
5 different shelves suddenly spring open, and a whirlwind of cards suddenly come shooting out, and the bottles that were dancing quickly shoot off into their respective places amongst the shelves, and a very large ring of dancing cards takes place before, after they rearrange themselves in all of these dances of circles and smaller semicircles, and then shuffling back, a large floating row of cards lays themselves out across the bottle, and there are 66 of them now floating in the air that are calling your name.
Now be warned! Things can go really right, or things can go really wrong. I mean,
No,
there's a chance that you might. You know what? I'll let you just decide on that.
You pick one just at random.
All right, Cobweb.
Without a second thought.
There's
Oh
some
my
pretty
God.
fucking high stakes to doing this. Roll 1d66.
Cobweb.
Here we go.
No.
I don't like it.
Let's go gambling.
Eric dropped that. I don't know what he dropped, but it was heavy.
Hmm.
A body.
Himself.
It sounds like it.
E66. Sorry, I'm slow.
You can do
Hi-ya.
/R. Okay. Wait, I don't know if I
Huh.
did that right.
No, you just rolled a d6 and got a 6.
Hmm.
Oh, did I really?
Yes.
Click the, just click the d20.
Space 1d66.
Yeah.
1d. Alright. Oh, that was the add. Oh, okay.
45.
45.
Steve,
Interesting.
Hmm.
What is this?
He loses the height he gained from his previous level. That would be hilarious.
Cobweb, you feel a card in particular calling to you, but that call seems to bounce from one to another, and eventually the stress of picking just kind of gets the better of you, and just your hand juts out, contacts the card, and you grab on tight and you pull it close to you, and you lift it over to inspect the other side, and you can feel a thrum of this card already shaking the fabric of the air as reality is altered in the following way. As you look down, and you can see that there is a depiction of a hooded rogue. A non-player character of the DM's choice becomes hostile toward you. The
Oh
identity of
no!
your new enemy isn't known until the NPC or someone else reveals it. Nothing less than a wish spell or divine intervention can end the NPC's hostility toward you.
What about death?
Fuck.
Death will solve that.
Great.
But
Well, it's a good thing you're the biggest because you just picked a fight. Look at that. I'm sure you can handle it.
Yeah, I do not fear your cards.
Oh, Cobweb.
You know, if you wanted to play another one, be my guest.
just keep going until you die.
But then again, if you draw something that's going to do something drastic, you may not ever meet your new adversary, and that would just be not fair.
Mm.
Okay. I'm going to flip a coin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I get on my knees and I'm like grabbing at Cobweb's arm. My
Heads are-
lord, I am
heads are-
begging you, do not.
Heads I don't, tails I do.
Cobweb.
It's heads. Okay.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Wait a minute. They're only hostile to me specifically?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna get annihilated. This sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch, it's just gonna be like some random kid you just half-ass met passing by.
It's like a sleeper agent. They just activate.
Kill John Lennon.
That's fair.
Do we have
All
any
right.
other
You
pocket
said
we
that you deal in memories. Is that right?
Of course. Memories are my trade. Fragments of someone's life.
Mhm.
In a way, this is something like a shop of one's personal effects. They do say that memories, they form who we are. Isn't that right, Arethal? You were a lunatic when we first met, and then I plucked that little wriggling, awful memory out of you, and all of a sudden you became a productive member of society again.
What?
Arethal was crazy.
Yeah.
Who said crazy?
Oh god.
That's me.
They put me in a room, a red rubber room.
I mean,
God.
lunatic implies a loss of sanity. Erithal, what did you see?
Fucking. I assume, yeah, no, you gave me part of the memory back, but not the bits that made me insane, because it would make me insane.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, I wish I could tell you, but at the same time, I like being sane.
Good choice.
Oh, all right. If the prerequisite for your assistance is a memory, then would you say that the more precious the memory is, the more value it holds?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, really, honestly, yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I can do this.
Excellent.
So how does this work?
So, Cobweb, you're willing to part with something near and dear to you. I am willing to humor you on it. In exchange, look all around you. There are fragments of memories, of knowledge of all sorts of parts of history, lost temples and civilizations and riches, objects of power, all sorts of things from all different stretches of the world. All throughout history, leading right up until the genocide. Roughly. I do have a few memories that come from other places beyond ours, but not helpful for your sake. I guess what I'm trying to say, to turn a bunch of words into just a couple, is what knowledge do you seek?
That's a good question. Any backseat gamers?
Well, there are a lot, but I don't know how to prioritize them.
Well, I mean, rattle off of you, dude.
I mean, I suppose mode of transportation off the planet if necessary. The best way to stop the Angel of Death, if anything. Or what is it that angels fear?
Well, given that he was surprised that one could die at all, I'm not
Mhm.
sure he'd have anything like that.
Yeah, true. Maybe we need some way to convince the Aurorans that the people of Highshire were never a threat.
The best. Does this sound like something that could be maybe concealed in a memory to you guys? But like the best piece of information to get the Aurorans and the people of Highshire to like set aside their differences and like something like that, like something that can unify them in a way, or at least get them to stop punching each other and punch the angels.
I mean, that's a good way of phrasing it.
Okay. So you're trying to you want to fuck up some angels? Is that what I'm hearing right here?
Yes.
Here's the thing. A lot of my knowledge comes from civilizations that have fallen, understand? Up until genocide. Right. There's a couple during the fall that are very valuable. I had a lot of business when people were dying. People were desperate, understand? But up until until this little bombshell that you just dropped on me, no one's ever killed one.
I mean, that's true. The only time we ever saw a dead angel was, well, us, not Kraken, was when the Angel of Death struck Idravok down. I mean, her feathers are razor sharp and deadly. I doubt there'd even be a way to get a feather from the Angel of Death without confronting her.
Tell you what there, kiddo. These are big questions. I'm not sure if I'll be able to have one that's very useful. But even if I can't directly help you, I'm gonna sift through some of the dustiest and oldest of my memories, and I'm gonna see if I can concoct something that would suit this proposition. You hold on to your juicy memories for a little bit, Cobweb. You have my calling card, and my shop is open 24 hours in a day. So once you, maybe have some more refined ideas, there's nothing stopping you from visiting me again. And by that time, I'll certainly have something. Probably.
Yeah, I think I've been doing this wrong. I've been looking for big things. Instead, he reaches into his pack and produces the chained blade. You helped Nadira with her little parasite problem, right? Or at least you know of Gilthun.
Oh, Gilthun the Chained One. Yes, he has quite the history. Well, I didn't, help Nadira with that. She was asking about something else that was a little bit more monstrous, but you already explained it to me. I'm not going to tell you your own story. But, yeah, kind of, yeah, sure.
Spoke of him familiar, whatever. God damn it.
That blade. Yeah. Yes, it is familiar. Yeah.
Okay. One of my memories for information on. Well, see, I acquired this item, but I don't know how to use it yet. It seems to be broke.
I see. Yes.
I mean, it's a good beaten stick, but that's about it.
It seems it is divorced of the power of its patron. But there are ways to fix this.
A pact, you mean?
Not with me, but I can tell you exactly what you need to know and exactly what you'll get.
Oh. Well, okay. I mean, I guess that'll help decide whether or not we toss it. Very well. So how exactly do I give you payment?
Well, it's a funny sensation, really. I will prepare one of my bottles. You'll feel a little tingle from an orifice of your choice, probably. And in exchange, you will receive some details on how to make use of this little bauble you have brought to me. Sound good?
Yeah, okay.
Very well. Sit still.
You watch and you see an empty bottle gets imbued with some strange purple magic, and a cork comes off, and it slowly meanders over towards your nose at first, then your ear, and then kind of starts to float around your head and behind you a little bit, and then you can see he kind of tilts his head, if you can call it that.
You know, I'm not actually sure if I've worked with a goblin before. You're not sneezy, are you?
What?
You know what?
Sorry, I'm hard of hearing.
Oh, well, in that case, just sit still.
You feel the bottle suddenly make contact with your ear, and you can feel a force tilt your head downwards. And you can feel a strange ethereal substance be drained out of your head, through your ear, and into this bottle. Everyone looks on as there is this white wisping essence that seems to disregard the laws of hydrodynamics as it is encapsulated in this strange bottle and then is corked off. As you see this strange floating etherealness, which is some precious memory of Cobweb, now sealed inside of this bottle, and the Recollector lifts it up high and kind of swirls it in the light of his lamps. And you can see he's quite satisfied.
Look at that! Now that wasn't painful, was it? Oh, wait.
Sorry, I was dissociating. My bad.
Minor imperfection. Hold on.
The bottle comes back towards you, and the tip of it gets wiped onto your pants as there appeared to be a bit of earwax that was caught on the lip of the bottle.
Eh.
I bet you can hear better now, too.
Yeah, actually.
All right.
For context, the memory is of his former party, since they're probably fucking dead anyway.
Cobweb, you are sifting through your minds and trying to inspect on what's different. Why don't you just make an intelligence roll?
Oh boy.
Let's go.
My favorite.
Let's see here. Pop. Okay.
You search your
15.
mind and give a thorough inspection for all memories, especially that are precious to you. And you remember your family in Undershire, the events that preceded you to become a cartographer, your first party, and your fateful meet with Patrol 26, every member of Patrol 26, and many of the associating faces that you've met along the way, both the outer world and inner. Suffice to say, you can't really decipher a single precious memory that's out of place. Everything appears to be intact.
Must not have been too important.
And then he turns around and looks at everyone else. Who are you?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
He's still drunk, guys.
I don't know. Who am I?
And I will type this up to at a later point in time, just to have it in writing. But you look down and you can see that there's a tiny little bottle about the size of a shot glass that is waiting at the base of your chin.
Well, you've already been drinking a little bit recently, right? Here you go.
Don't drop it.
Cobweb, hold on, let me see here. We did something stupid. Cobweb casts, where is it? Alter self to make his nose 2 feet long, and he sniffs it.
What is it?
Wow, okay.
You
That's a
sniffing
perfect use.
You sniffing the substance.
Yes.
There is a shake of the bottle, and this ethereal, it's like a yellowy, silvery mixture that would shoot up into your nose. You feel it wash through your skull, meld with your head, and there's flashes of memories of this sword. You can see this being forged in a high up mountain by stone giants, and you can see that there are many chains that are facilitating the forge's operation. You can get flashbacks of the exotic bone-like material that has been created, treated, enchanted, and then assembled to greet the base of the freshly forged blade. and this chain that is now locked around it was never necessarily forged. It just seemed to manifest around the blade over time as recitations were performed, and this blade is being held at a high mountain peak where the still red blade is being chilled by icy winds. And although its current form resembles something that is definitely synonymous with Gilthun, you think, given circumstances, it could be repurposed to be associated with otherworldly power. As for the mechanical side of things, I will type that up to you when time permits, but you now have an extensive history of this thing, and should you play your cards right, this +2 longsword can become a +3 with some pretty juicy benefits depending on what you do to it.
Oh.
Juicy.
Oh man, I get to do the smith thing now.
So now you will have options on basically how you want to recreate this sword, and you now know how it will be empowered. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure sort of situation with this thing. A privilege that few people have when working with an artifact like this.
Look at that! You put some personal flair into it.
Yeah, wait, well... Sorry, I lagged, like, so fucking hard right there.
He's just shooting the shit with you. Steve.
God damn it. Thanks, I guess, strange spaghetti monster.
What spaghetti? That's
Good
not
one.
the insult, is it?
No, it's delicious.
Oh. Yeah. You take a bite out of me, you're gonna have problems.
I already have problems with it.
I have a lot of problems too. They're inside of little bottles.
Okay.
He said, I got big problems, I got little problems. God damn it.
Yeah.
Man.
So, as far as these really big and head-hurty questions that you were asking me earlier, I'm gonna need some time. I may need to combine some memories together to form a larger picture of our world. This is very dangerous work, and I'm a professional! That was... shut up.
You shut up.
We didn't say anything.
With that being said, because we are currently at least being watched by somebody outside of our control, do you think we could stay here for what amounts to be, I don't know, like 8 hours? Because this is kind of like an extra dimensional space, I'm assuming, that
Yes.
we can just kind of not be watched other than anybody else who's in this room.
Sure. So,
Okay, cool.
here's the thing with my interdimensional shop. All of time that passes through here, relatively speaking, passes in an instant out there. So the second that door closes in there, it's going to open again and you're going to come right out. But I have executive control on the properties of my shop. We could fast forward things if you'd like.
I mean,
we s-
timey-wimey bullshit is my favorite thing ever.
I would give this as a courtesy gift for making multiple purchases at once. It's my treat.
And that's why you're the best.
Naturally, given everything that you've been telling me about what you've been doing out there, I am very, very, very incentivized to do favors for you.
And that's why I always come back with piping hot tea.
And that's why you're my favorite customer. That's what I tell all
Obviously.
my favorite customers.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
He knows how to bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if you wanna pop in, let's say, an hour or 2 or 6 or whatever, yeah, I can do that for you. This is a one-time little courtesy. And before you walk out of that, You can feel free to take a little nap on my hard floor for as long as you want. As long as you don't go sniffing everything, because then I will shunt you all out instantaneously.
What makes you say that? As he turns his head and his nose bumps against the glass.
Improper application of memories from someone else into your own and have side effects that may rent your mind asunder and will leave your soul trapped in an interdimensional space which will grant it no peace in the afterlife, assuming you believe one even exists.
The noses
big
will stay
words
where they
don't-
belong.
Good.
Don't scare me. I don't understand them.
Okay. So, I don't really have accommodations like pillows or anything, but feel free to just catch some Z's on the floor. And eventually, when you start to hear things wisping around your mind, and there's echoes that do not belong to your mind, do not focus on them. Because if you do, well, you're going to be all scrambled for a little bit. That's why I never opened an inn.
Okay, do not willingly incite ego death. Got it.
Yes.
Correct.
Maybe we shouldn't overstay our welcome and actually use the room we paid gold for.
Yeah, I mean, I could just skip you a little bit forward on the clock now, and then you can go sleep in a real bed.
It's probably
That would throw them off her tail.
that would throw them off just an hour or so.
I could do an hour.
Yeah, that's. I mean, unless you think we need more for some reason, but I think an hour is enough of.
I mean, an hour.
I know, I'm not the time police.
Yeah, let's go an hour, then we'll go to sleep and get cracking on this thing.
Okay, sure. It is done. I like doing business with mortals again. I do hope that you make the right choices so I can keep doing this. Oh, that reminds me. You're off in a new space, aren't you? You know, as I said, have no memories from people living in the inner world. You should invite more people in here, trade in some memories, freshen up the reserves.
Make sure to tell everybody that we know.
Yeah. I think there may be people out there who understand my trade if you ask the right historian. I think there's a lot of potential. More than I'll tell.
Hapless people wanting to sacrifice troubling memories. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that could be good.
We bonded in the
Heads
first
together.
place.
Huh? What? Huh?
What?
What?
Shut up.
Oh.
Alright, and Cobweb would unroll his dirty sleeping bag and curl up before passing out.
Hmm.
Cowboy, we're only shunting an hour.
Yeah.
I know. He's done for.
That's
Oh,
fair.
I should have specified. Like you could just walk out the door now, and that hour will be facilitated for you. Time is relative.
We'll just drag Cobweb in his sleeping bag.
Mhm.
That works.
On the way out, I'm just gonna yell over my shoulder. See you later, crackhead.
Nadira,
Yeah.
everyone really.
Mhm.
What a
The day
what?
may come soon where you realize the futility of your actions. When that happens, come visit me again, will you? I'll make snacks, and we can toast to the end of the world.
If we're gonna die, might as well die having fun.
In his sleep, Cobweb hoists the mug that he had drug in from the bar to the end of the world.
Okay.
With that, everyone leaves.
Yeah.
That's fucking foreboding. Good lord.
believe you would, as the tavern is a lot more quiet than it was when you had left it, and it certainly seems like time has passed to a limited degree, just as the Recollector promised. And with that, if no one has any final actions, we will end the session here.
Well, I would go see if that
Okie
guy is
dokie.
still standing at the door.
Oh, right, you peek your head outside, and there is a few passerby, but nobody of such description.
Right
Okay.
on. All right, we've covered all bases. Good session,
guess-
guys. Fucking banger.
Yep.
Okie dokie, everybody.
Hey,
Good night.
hey,
Have a good night. Goodbye.
See you.
hey.
Goodbye.